Hey, little buddy, want a ride?
Pikachu!
Yeah, whatever.
Games just don't look any better than this.
What's up, lattes and cappuccinos? Welcome to Coffee Table Zero's Plays Stories from Soul, the Gun Dog. I'm the American Roast, Alex Rexonect. I'm on my own today. Hey Tim, how's it going? I'm glad they work. I'm sorry you can't really understand them. I tried like making them somewhat understandable. I think the read one came out okay, where it just says read 3 times in a row. I liked that one. The Let's Go came out good. The hard part is YouTube was like, yo, hey, you need to make these 32 by 32, which is like nothing. So I'll have to take a look and see. And you know, I literally just thought about it. I'm hoping it's not minimum 32 by 32, because then it also had a size requirement. God damn it! All right, I'm gonna need to check that. But okay, cool. Let's play some How Long to Beat, and then we'll play some Stories from Soul. I've had a fucking shit week, so let's play some games for a little bit, and try not to fucking think about anything else that's going on in my life right now. Ratchet & Clank Size Matters. This is the PSP one. I'm gonna go with. Let's go with like a maybe like a 12, a 15, and a. Let's go with like a maybe like a 26. No, do like a 24, and then I think people would have liked it here for what it was. Again, it was Ratchet & Clank on the go. Let's go with like a 75, and then let's probe it. Ooh, oh no. Well, that's why we have the probe then. Let's try maybe a little. God, do I think lower? Well, no, because this is closer, right? So if that's closer, yeah, maybe I'm off on all this. Let's go with like a. God, if I'm at red at 12, that's not good. Let's go. God, I want to go like a 17, maybe a 22, and then maybe this is like a 30. And then this isn't close, so maybe it's not as good. Let's go with like a. Let's go with like a 67. Lock it. Oh no! Oh, we went in the total opposite direction. Oh no! How the fuck was that an orange? I guess we were kind of close. A 66. Oh no! Yeah. All right. Well, you know that just fucking figures. We got what 21 points out of that. Oh man! All right. Xenosaga episode. What the fuck is Xenosaga episode 1? Driftveil zur Macht. I've got no fucking idea. As an 02. Let's go for a reveal. 57, alright. A 2002 RPG. This would have been fresh PS2 era, so I don't know, let's go with like a 32, 44, 57. And then do people like it? I've got no context for it. Let's go with a 71. Lock it. 75. Alright. Damn. What did you say? That's a really German-looking name. Yeah, I know, right? Alright, Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. Never got around to Danganronpa. Spread? It's a murder mystery detective visual novel, so it's gotta be long, right? Also Discord when you get a chance. Let's see what you got. Danganronpa's so long. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Let's see what you got here. From official page support. Put some emojis. Okay, so now this one says 48 by 48. Preferred to a 480 by 480. Okay, I can work with a 480 by 480. What the hell, man? Maybe it's saying like, hey, just try not to go that high because there was the 1 megabyte limit. Okay, all right, yeah, well, I'll see if I can get those updated. Because, yeah, when I was editing them, I'm like, we had a couple of different ideas we were going through. I'm like, I just can't fucking see this. Those were the ones that at least kind of made it out okay. If Danganronpa's long, let's go with like a... Let's go with like 35. No, 34. 41. Let's go with like a 67. And then do people like it? The kids love the Danganronpa, don't they? Let's go with like an 80. We'll just be a little on the higher side. Lock it. Okay. Hey, all right. Wow, I nailed it. I got one at least. I'm just happy you managed to get any up. Yeah, I know, right? 34, 42, 60, and an 84. Okay, well. Hello, Sonic, once again. God, that hurt. That killed the whole day. That sucked. Man, we did good here, though. Apparently, I know Danganronpa for not even fucking getting to it. All right, let's get over to it. Let's play some games. Let's play some visual novel. Let's figure out what our job is on this. What is it called? JFS Gundog? I'm just happy you managed to get any of them up. Yeah, well, again, the plan was to try to start taking advantage of all the things that YouTube's like, yo, hey, you guys got members? You can do all kinds of things. The more members we get, apparently the more emojis we can have as well. So hopefully once we do our membership drive and hopefully get a couple more folks with some stars with their names, we can get a couple more of those going. And if they're okay with having the larger sizes as well, I'll also be getting that going. Let's load. We did it right at the end of the day, right? April 23rd, planetary calendar 214. 4 days have passed since the JFS Gundog departed on its mission to rendezvous with the JFS O'Brien. In that time, her crew, including Lieutenant Maki Carino, have fallen into an easy rhythm of life aboard the ship. Even as the Gundog enters the outer limits of Jovian space and is due to meet the O'Brien, there's little for the crew to do, and general sense of routine permeates the atmosphere. Outer Jovian space. Aboard the Jovian patrol ship JFS Gundog. Is that a fire? Is that a fire right there? Is that happening? Am I okay with that? Danganronpa 2 is the non-canon one. That's a joke. It's canon, but it's one of the only 3 not to get an animation that you ever found. Really? Oh. Let's see. You're just finishing the last of your coffee as a shrill series of electronic pips begins sounding from your wristwatch. Without looking to check the time, you turn off the alarm and rise from your seat, knocking back the last of your drink once you've stood up, and then taking the empty cup back to the food vendor. Oh, okay, it was steam. I'm like, that looks like a fire. It's easy to lose track of time on board a military ship where the light is kept at a constant level, so you rely on a series of alarms you've programmed. You know this one means that your shift is due to start in a few minutes, giving you time to finish whatever you may be doing. You place the cup back into the vendor, where the machine latches onto it and retracts into a space that is quickly sealed by a sliding panel. As the sound of muffled whirring begins, you turn back to face the empty mess hall. Time to carry out the day's security checks then. Well, let's see, I need to stop by fire control, the hangar, and engineering to check that everything's going as it should. Alright, that's important. Fire control, hangar, engineering. Let's see, can I buy chocolate? Let's see, it might be nice to get for something later. What should I do? Buy a chocolate bar. Let's see, a silent voice bar or a Duggan Krills. Okay, let's go with the silent voice. All right. Let's see, anything else to really look at? I don't think so, right? It's just the 2 things. Standard food vendor, JFSO ship. That's fine. All right. Function. What items do I have? I do have my gun. Access card, security officer, almost anywhere. Let's move. Alright, well, the hangar is one of the places we need to go, and so is fire control. Let's go for the hangar first. Alright, the hangar. Let's see. Although you take the first few stairs normally, by the time you reach the hangar entrance, you're skipping almost every step. Gliding through the door onto the catwalk as you grab the railing and heave yourself over it, as you continue to float lazily through the wide open space of the hangar, you start your visual checks. Walkways clear, access points marked, munitions stowed, all the equipment on the supplies seem to be where they should be. You casually shift your weight to one side of your body, causing you to begin spinning slowly. As you rotate the glare from the hangar, lights reflect off an armored frame's camera lens, almost as if it was watching you. Quickly dismissing the thought, you turn your attention back to the duties. Eventually, you arrive at the other end of the hangar, where you plant your feet in the thick steel on the main door. From this angle, you can take in everything that you may have missed, including Dalton, who you can see amongst the storage unit, his attention fixed intently on a collection of parts in front of him. Cadet Dalton, attention! Looking at it more, I can make out the 3 reads a wee bit better, and I can kind of make out the clown one, but I'm still lost AF on that last one. So it should be the Koromon Let's Go, the Read, the Clown, which is the it's Ben Starr from the Balatro commercial, and I just put clown over it because we thought it was funny and very low quality. And then the other one is the it's the guy like kind of like holding a cigarette, kind of like with his head in his hands, and it's just the ellipses. I figured an ellipses one would be good for you guys. I thought that one might get some use. Let's see. The junior engineer suddenly snaps to attention, and the second he hears your call, inadvertently launching the pair of pliers he was holding out into the open space of the hangar. Without gravity to stop them, they continue to just kind of sail through the air. At ease, cadet. You time your launch from the door exactly to allow yourself to grab the pliers as you float over to the startled cadet. I believe these are yours, cadet. Sir, thank you. I was hold on. One second here. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Apparently they are doing the dryer cleanings today, so we might hear a little bit of background noise as they're going through and cleaning the vents outside. So you guys probably can't even hear it. Let's see. Sir, thank you. I didn't realize you were, relax, Dalton. I'm just doing my rounds. I'm not here to check up on you. Oh, okay. Cool, yeah. Is there anything I can help you with? Just the usual. Everything okay in here? You haven't noticed any mechanical failures? Everything working how it should? Any suspicious activities? Nothing to report, sir. I've just been working on my project. Ever since Lieutenant Commander Quinn assigned Ensign Cruz to the filter cleaning, it's giving me a bit of extra time to finish things up. Oh yeah, that's your high-density foam that sets rock hard, right? How's that going? That's right. It's good. It's good. I'm hoping to get the chance to test it soon. These containers are full of the compound, and I'm just about to try transferring it into some of the empty training rounds. You know, the ones normally filled with paint. And the ones that the armored frame pilots use in practice combat to show when they've hit each other. The compound's stored under the pressure where it remains a liquid. When removed from that pressure, it expands quickly, and with the rapid expansion, it sets. If I got this right, we can test it by firing practice rounds at dummy targets. When the casing is destroyed, the compound should activate. Good news. Well, if there's anything I need to know, or if there's nothing I need to know, I'll head out. Let me know if you see anything out of place. Yes, sir, I will. Although, I was wondering. What's up, cadet? It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Nerd! If you're sure, cadet. Let's take another look around just to be sure. Everything's in order. Some of these containers hold the compound that Dalton's working on. but he keeps his work environment so tidy I wouldn't be able to tell you which. Tools, equipment, and supplies. Chief keeps a close eye that everything's stowed properly and Dalton works to our higher standards. Can't see anything wrong with that now. Let's see. If there's a problem with this, it show up on the diagnostics that are fed to the bridge. All I need to do is a quick visual check. Everything looks fine. What about the big robots? 2 Juno-modeled armored frames, remarkable for being totally unremarkable. These two have some slight differences to the ones that were around during the war, but they're basically the same machine. Alright, well, I guess we'll use... The model of Juno has a simulation mode installed in the main computer. If I wanted to, I could spend some time there and... who am I kidding? Oh. We're not getting in the robot in this game, are we? Let's move out of here. Alright, so we checked there. We need to check fire control and one other place that I can remember. Let's keep moving around here for a second, though. Let's go to the central hub. Should we bother the captain? Let's see. Let's see if we can go to the bridge. I've still got to check out fire control and engineering. I'll go up and report the captain once I've completed my duties. Okay, well, I guess we're not going there then. Well, I guess, yeah, we should go back here and then we'll go into fire control. Still feel a little awkward checking on fire control as part of your security report. Although Dylan is always friendly enough, you can't help but feel like you're intruding on his personal sanctuary. And it doesn't help his headphones are so big that it's sort of shaking him. It's hard to get his attention. Well, here we go. Morning, Lieutenant. How's it going? Oh, hey, Dylan. Everything all right? I thought you'd be listening to your music. You're a pretty punctual guy, Lieutenant. So far, you've come by here the exact same time every shift. All I had to do was find out which albums would last until you just before you got here. And now that I don't need to get interrupted mid-jam. Oh, that's pretty impressive. Aren't you going to get bored of listening to the same albums every morning, though? Nah, don't worry about it. I figured out about 15 different album combinations, and it's not including changing the order of play, so I'm good for this mission. Speaking of the mission, you know the drill. Anything unusual? Nothing at all, Lieutenant. Not even a scrap of debris. I've been keeping an eye on the long-range targeting systems, too, and we've had a blip, but the energy readings match the O'Brien, which makes sense. Yeah, I thought so. We're so deep in Jupiter's backyard that I don't think we'll be seeing anything at all aside from the O'Brien. Pausing for a moment as you idly shift your focus from one screen to another, a flicker on one of the screen catches your attention. What was that? Sir? That screen here, it just flickered. What do the readings say? Oh, that's a long-range targeting system. It's fed with data from the long-range communication system, which has been on the fritz recently. Chief's been working on it, trying to figure out where all the feedback's coming from. That's the kind of thing you should be filling me in on, Gunner D's. If our targeting systems aren't operating properly, then I need to make sure the captain knows. My bad, sir. Since Chief said she was on the case, I figured it was all in hand. Well, let me know next time. That's it, though? Nothing else, right? Nothing at all. All right. Keep it up, Gunner D's. Yes, sir. Where's our girlfriend that's totally cheated on? No, she wouldn't have stationed us here, breaking several rules to get us here otherwise. A keyboard. Targeting system is guided by these roller ball endpoints. We have roller balls for the targeting system? Is that what we want? I didn't notice it the first time around, but it looks like someone's replaced one of them with an 8-ball. Alright, well, I guess it's something. All the monitors look like they're working fine. I'll have to ask the chief about the long-range communication systems. Well, talk? What's going on, Lieutenant? I listened to that Trish and the Replicants album you lent me the other day. It's pretty good. Oh, hey, nice. If you're into it, I got a few other albums I can lend you. Ever hear of Firebombing? I was wondering if you had something a bit less rock? What were you thinking? Well, I really liked the Lin Minnie May song they were always playing back on Europa before we left. Do you have anything like that? Lin Minnie May. That overproduced twee stuff? Oh, God, it's Miguel. Come on, sir. Next you'll be telling me you want to listen to a whole album of Princess Maria ballads or something. I kind of like that stuff, though. Oh, no. I mean... No way, sir. Come on. You're listening to Firebombing next, and that's it. All right, okay. Leave the tape with me next time you pass my quarters. Princess Maria. Who can have taste in the music like that? Oh. Why is it in every universe I'm bad with music? Let's get out of here. Let's see. Let's go with... I guess we go to engineering, right? Go talk to the chief and be like, yo, hey, what's with this long-distance communication thing? Let's move. More. We were already in the mess hall. Let's go Central Hub. Move. F Thoroughfare. I know I can do the map and just get there, but, like, I want to feel like I'm living here. Like, this place sucks to walk through all the time. Let's go to engineering. Lieutenant Maki Carino, entering main engineering. You declare to the cavernous expanse of machinery and access ways that makes up your engineering section. You'd be instructed to announce your arrival by the chief, and since the last time you didn't, she nearly dropped a filtration unit on you to prove a point, and you made sure not to forget. Access way clear, no visible detritus? 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 No visible detritus. Nothing seems to be malfunctioning. You stop midway through your visual checks. And no one's throwing heavy machinery off the higher levels to teach me a lesson in proper conduct. Doesn't take long for you to finish your daily checklist. Chief runs such a tight ship that you don't really expect anything less. Now that you think about it, though, she hasn't given you your daily grilling about how insulting it is that you think these daily checks are necessary in the first place. Chief? You here? Up here, Lieutenant. Up where? Chief, are you around? Damn it, Lieutenant, I'm up here. That's weird. It's not like Chief to not be at her assigned duty station. I'll have to tell the captain. Damn it, Lieutenant, I'm up here. Look, you idiot. Look up, you idiot. Looking up, you see the chief engineer leaning dangerously across the safety rail of a walkway a few levels above you. Behind her is a mass of cabling that's pouring out of the open panel above her. Oh, Chief, good morning. Good morning yourself. I've been calling back to you this whole time. You forget to clean out your ears or something? Sorry, Chief. It's pretty loud in here. Nothing in here is running above a safe decibel limit. And if you tell me otherwise, I'll come down there and recalibrate your ears. You quickly mentally calculate the time it would take her to get down here and where you are, and the time you need to get out of engineering. Although you fancy your chances, you wouldn't bet money or your ears on it. Must be me then. Anyway, I'm filling out a daily report, Chief. What's going on up there? One of those clowns at the colony dock who took apart the maintenance process must have done something stupid for long-range communication system. For the past 12 hours, we've been picking up huge amounts of feedback. It must have made a bad connection, but I can't find it in all this shoddy wiring. Huh. Must be the system that Dylan was talking about. Are you sure there's nothing up there that could be sending out a signal, a broadcast from the O'Brien, one of our reconnaissance satellites? No chance. This feedback is way too intense. Even a standard broadcast shouldn't produce this much noise. Unless maybe they calibrated the long-range system on the shortwave bands? In that case, the sensitivity would be off so that it would... Chief? Huh? Oh, yeah, like I was saying. There's nothing around here that should be kicking out a signal with this kind of capacity. It's like picking up something with an amplitude and frequency 10 times higher than our standard equipment. Which could be the result of a processor loop. Maybe I should check the initial conversion driver next. Let's see. Supposedly it's detritus? The fuck? Is it really? But nobody pronounces it that way. So how much do you know about this game? I got nothing. I only played that demo way back when, and then for the first stream we got up to exactly the point we stopped at on the demo. So as far as like what happens, I have no idea. I figured this was just gonna be like a fun little, oh yeah, hey, you're like an officer on a military ship, and I'm sure there's gonna be something that comes to terms as far as like, oh hey, we find the O'Brien, and like, I don't know, maybe we find like the next war brewing and we got to get out of here or something. I don't know. But details. I'm trying to stay relatively dark and try to piece it together myself. Okay, well in that case, Chief, I'm going to let the captain know, okay? Huh? I'll put that in my report for the captain, all right? Oh, yeah, sure. I was going to let her know when I fixed it, but I'll have those adults done a real number on this one. So it's going to be longer than I thought. All right, thanks for the heads up. All right, that's all the routine checks carried out. Time to report to the captain. Let's get out of here. Back to the F thoroughfare. And then to the... Oh, no, I don't need to go in the armory. Central Hub. All right, move to the bridge. I've completed the security report for the day. Should I go up and give it to the captain, or should I take another look around in case I missed anything? There's something else I want to check out. Actually, there's a few other things I'd like to look at before I see her. Let's look at our big old map. Let's see. So we went through fire control. We went through the hangar. We were in the mess hall. Let's see. This game is not like most visual novels. This game is similar to Fire Emblem game. There's only one ending, but the choices you make along the way affect what happens to the characters after the ending. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's kind of nice. I don't need everything to be a choose-your-own adventure here. As long as the story itself is good, I guess that's really all the point that would matter. Let's see. The bridge, armory. Well, I mean, no, we kind of did go everywhere. Let's go back to the armory real quick. Look around. Anything in here? Emergency spacesuits are for the ship's security detail, which should be me. One sort here are slightly armored in comparison to the rest of the crews for obvious reason. Everything else is the same. Electroshock weapons. Yeah, we already looked at that. Okay, there's a variety of small arms and light weapons for use against external hostile forces. Okay, yeah, no, nothing really. I guess we're okay to go. Yeah, let's go to the bridge then. Time to report to the captain. All right then, no sense in delaying the Captain Bartimeus. Lieutenant Maki Carino entering the bridge. You declare, stepping from the elevator and throwing a salute. Looking around the room, you see Vanessa, who remains focused at her station, not paying you the slightest bit of attention, and Cassie, who stands up from her station and comes over to you, a wide smile on her face. As you remain at attention, you notice the captain's chair is empty. At ease, Lieutenant. Captain Bartimeus isn't with us, so I'm in charge of you today. Oh, a small tut comes from Vanessa. If Cassie heard it, she doesn't show it. Oh, is that right? I've come to make my report. That's right. Dr. Rosarium advised me that she'd suddenly taken ill. Vanessa makes another louder tutting noise. Cassie pauses for a split second, but quickly carries on. So he's ordered her to her quarters for some bed rest. We're due to enter communications range with the O'Brien any moment now, and from there, it's just a matter of coordinating our patrol paths. Nothing I can't handle. Ahem. Oh. I love this girl's faces. Right. The security report, Lieutenant? Oh, yeah, of course. You clear your throat, feeling a bit awkward. Although you'd been on the ship together for the past few days, you'd mainly seen each other between shifts where rank didn't really mean much. Cassie acting seriously didn't really seem like Cassie at all. Security report for April 23rd, PC 214. No breaches or hazards to report, ma'am. No sign of immediate threats or security risks to the ship herself, and all shipboard operations proceeding as expected with a little likelihood of disruption. Nothing? Well, the chief has run into some feedback issues on long-range communication system that are impacting the visuals on the long-range targeting system. It doesn't seem to be enough to stop normal operations, though, and she's in the process of isolating the problem area to start repairs. But that's about it. Business as usual. Here's my written report. You reach into your jacket pocket and take hold of the written copy of your morning report, as well as the completed checklist. At the same time, you subtly shift the chocolate bar underneath the pad of paper and, holding on to both, pull them out to present them to Cassie, the silent voice obscured by the documents. Thank you, Lieutenant. I'll... Taking both off you, Cassie quickly realizes there's something in addition to the report and spots a chocolate bar underneath. Aw, look at her. She loves it. Look at her. She loves it. Well, Lieutenant Carino, it looks like you're continuing to perform above and beyond. Tell me, though, do you have any experience with the standard communications array? You pause for a moment, unsure at what Cassie's getting at. Everyone on the JCF seems to at least... everyone in the JCF has at least rudimentary knowledge of how to work a ship's communications array. I do not understand the HLTB for this game. Oh, don't say that. That makes me worry. Why? What do you say that for? Vanessa's the only member of the crew I trust. Well, I mean, she does seem very focused, we'll say. Yes, ma'am. I've had the necessary training to operate the comms system aboard any JCF vessel. Great. Since Captain Bartimeus is ill, Vanessa and I are both pulling double shifts to make sure there's cover on the bridge. It'll just be me on the night shift tonight. You won't mind helping me out by manning some positions? Oh, my. Whoa. Ahem. As Cassie turns away with the documents in hand, she glances across to display screen to showing the time. Vanessa, have we heard anything from the O'Brien? We're beyond the scheduled meetup window. Are we picking them up on the sensors? Because it's a single ending, but the main story is 6 hours, and the completionist is 15. Oh, that is maybe going back. Well, I mean, if it's a single ending, I'm sure some of the trophies that are needed for some of the other folks. Well, I mean, we just got the one for Cassie. I know that was one of them for like, yo, hey, give her a chocolate bar at every opportunity. So I'm sure if you're not rotating your saves, you may just need to do multiple runs. I'm sure there's things I've already missed. Let's see. There's nothing on the sensors, Lieutenant Commander. Not that this interference is making things easy. I'll try scanning on different frequency bands in case the O'Brien is having the same issue. Vanessa begins to flip switches into his dials, filling the quietness of the bridge with a series of noises that range from annoying buzzes to painfully shrill screeches. After a few moments, a communications window on the main screen illuminates and a small, distorted voice speaks. Do you read? We are at the rendezvous area and have a mission update. Please acknowledge. I repeat. This is Lieutenant Bashir of the JFS O'Brien. JFS Gundog, do you read? We are at the rendezvous area and have a mission update. Please acknowledge. Ooh, yeah, look at all this. This looks fancy looking. What do you look like in the Dojin mode? These uniforms are so ugly. It's very plain looking, yeah. Okay, I kind of like the bags under his eyes, yeah. He's still green. With Lieutenant Bashir from the O'Brien relatively clear on the communications window, Cassandra hastily grabs a microphone. Roger that, JFS O'Brien. This is Lieutenant Commander Quinn from the JFS Gundog. We're picking up your signal and have arrived at the rendezvous area. Please transmit your precise coordinates, over. We read you. That's a sweet voice you got there, Gundog. I'm transmitting coordinates and mission updates files now. It's good to finally... Lieutenant Bashir, do you read? Vanessa, are you still getting signal from the... The comms are being overloaded. There's a powerful signal coming in on all bands, and it's... Oh, look at her. Oh, no, she hates it. I don't like this game has a Dojin mode. I don't know. I kind of like having the different art. It's kind of nice. Oh. What the hell just happened? Is everyone okay? Commander Quinn? Commander Quinn? Cassie? Oh, no. She's going to go Super Saiyan 2. I've seen this. What's the art look like? Oh, no. Oh, she hates it. I like how it doesn't move. She hates it. She's going Super Saiyan 2. I love it. Oh, I don't mind the different art. I don't like specifically that it's called Dojin mode. Oh, okay, sure. Even before your eyes adjust to the minimal lighting of the bridge, you kneel down and reach out into the darkness, trying to find where Cassie has collapsed onto the deck. You search blindly for a few seconds until your hand meets her shoulder, and you move towards her. Cassie. Hey, Cassie. Say something, Cassie. CP. Hang in there, Cassie. Lieutenant Lord, call sickbay and get doctor up here right now. I can't. Why not? The ship's entire system has been knocked offline. Even the emergency backup systems. It's all offline. We don't have time for this. Get it back online. You rise quickly and dash over to the elevator, slamming your hand into the call button. I'm going to take Cassie down to the sickbay. You can... Aside from your voice, the whole room remains totally silent. Like, yeah, I understand all Dojins are that kind of publication, but that's what everyone thinks of when... it's more like, oh, yeah, hey, technically it could be anything, but everybody, when they see that word, they ain't going to think it's that word. They're going to think it's that word. Most conspicuously absent through this whirring of the elevator that would take you directly to the sickbay, you rapidly press the call button in frustration. Idiot! What part of offline do you not understand? Oh, fuck, are we stuck on the bridge? Quinn's not going anywhere, at least until the backup systems are online. And that can be done, and that can't be done from the bridge. Oh, what do you mean? How do we get him back online? It's an emergency failsafe. If there's a critical failure with the central computer and it can't function properly, then the entire ship will be shut down. Look at her. Look at this fucking tsundere. Look at her. Oh, baka. Goodness, excuse me. Let's see. The main computer in engineering needs to be physically rebooted to restore any sort of access. Of course, since this is a security system, you should know all this. You grit your teeth and slap yourself, snapping back at Vanessa. In the heat of the moment, all the thought of process and procedure had left you completely. All you'd been thinking about was how to get Cassie to sickbay. Placing your head in your hand, you pinch the bridge of your nose and try to focus. That's right, but isn't the order to reboot the central computer given from the bridge in that situation? Why did you say we can't? 2 reasons. First of all, this lockdown shouldn't affect backup systems. But for some reason, everything seems like it's offline, which means there's no internal communication systems right now. Secondly, even if we did have internal communication system, access to the central computer requires input codes which are known only by the captain, or in the event that the captain is incapacitated, the second in command. Vanessa turns to look at Cassandra, who shifts silently. As she continues to talk, you head back to Cassie, kneeling beside her and placing her in the recovery position. The recovery position. Is that just like flat on her back? I appreciate Vanessa calling us out on being stupid. Yeah, well, I mean, this seems like it's a pretty serious turn of phrase. That is not how this works. Feeling the cold steel on the floor as you turn Cassie over and take off your uniform jacket and lay it over her. Oh, that's nice. Which currently would be Lieutenant Commander Quinn. Meaning that right now, both the people who know the necessary information to get the ship back up and running are out of action. Now, there's got to be some way around all this. Now, weren't you listening? This isn't supposed to happen. We should at least have the backup systems in place. Without them, there's nothing we can do except sit around and wait for the air to run out. Oh, everything. Like literally everything. Air? Well, no, she did say backup systems too. Fuck. That's not good. Wait, Discord. Oh, wait. Wait, Discord for me or Discord for the game? What happened? Let's see. Oh. There's like actually a recovery position. Was it it's the you ever see like that picture of somebody sleeping? It's like, yes, the best sleeping position. The Ryu knee high kick or whatever the fuck it is. Dude, everything is offline. Well, I didn't think it would even be air. But, I guess that makes sense. Everything is on. Tim, this is you right now. Everything is offline right now. What part of this are you not getting? Apparently, I'm not getting a lot of it. All right, so everything's just fucked. So we're in a room where the air is running out, and nobody can get to us. As you kneel over Cassie, your mind races through what Vanessa has just told you. You know that she's right, and all the ship's emergency action plans revolve around the backup systems being operational, and without them being online, there's next to nothing that can be done with the ship. No, not you, the game, you. Your mind catches on that point for a moment, and you can't help but wonder whether whoever wrote the plan was optimistic enough that they couldn't see a situation where the backups failed, or whether they were so pessimistic they felt if those systems were out of commission, there was no real hope for the crew either. Pushing that thought out of your head, you desperately try to figure out a way to get Cassie into the sickbay. There's got to be something you know about the ship that would help. In all your time you spent working as a security officer, there's got to be something that you picked up that would... Oh, yeah, wait, hold on, yeah. Why can't we just do the air vents? Yeah, because then they say that leads to different areas? In the crew quarters, the panel by the bunks can be removed and replaced. People use that space in the structure to hide contraband. What are you talking about? The ship's maintenance crawls are accessed in the same way. If I'm right... You head back over to the elevators, but this time instead of trying to call them, you begin to run your hands over the seams in the wall panels on either side. Eventually, you notice a gap a few inches in length. Normally, maintenance would have a special tool to access this, but you can do the same thing with... I know I got it somewhere. Where is it? Right, my gun. Keycard. Taking your ID card out of your pocket, you slide it into the gap in the seam until it meets the some resistance when it's about halfway in. I know you're not supposed to make too many plans, but you end up making plans that's too convoluted. But like, you should always have a backup plan that's explicitly meant for when your backup isn't working. Yeah, right. Again, it's if you are making a, whether it's like a how do I say this? A ship of some kind, because I guess like an automobile doesn't really do the same. So like an airship, a ship on the water, a ship in space. You know, if it is literally, hey, I am literally voyaging away from any potential help, you got to have backup plans A, B, C, D, and run it all the way through until you have no more backup plans for the backup plans. Like this one, just having the two is kind of a little odd. Like I get it. Like, right, okay, the backups are supposed to work. Those are probably, running through like a different kind of system. But this does feel a little odd that there's just up 1, 2, and nope, that's it. We're done. Oh, that's why you're being so stubborn. Hold on a sec. Sorry, my wires got all twisted around here. There we go. There we go. Now we're better. Let's see. Taking your ID card out of the pocket, you slide it into the gap and it seems it meets some resistance when it's about halfway in. You slide it up and down a few times until you feel it stick on something, at which point you push harder. Suddenly you hear the sound of multiple latches disengaging and the panel falls towards you. Vanessa remains the only one I could trust. Well, that's fair. Taking the wall panel in both hands, you place it up to the side where it used to be attached. Now, instead of a solid wall, you can just about make out an absence large enough for someone to fit inside, with a series of rungs heading downwards into a darkness which opens up once they pass by where the elevator currently sits. How did you know how to do this? I'm the security officer. Hold on, Vanessa. You're supposed to be the smart one here. You're the only one that Tim trusts right now. I can't be the smart one. It's one of the first tricks you learn as a security officer. Ship crews get very creative with where they stash things. With these panels, with these panels, it makes things. It makes sense that the maintenance crawlways are accessed in a similar way. Well, great. Now you can crawl around the walls in the dark. Very helpful. Hey, all right, hold on, Vanessa. Relax. You grit your teeth and breathe. You haven't talked with Vanessa very much since you first met, but you're now beginning to understand why she always ate alone in the mess hall. Oh, the mess hall's only like one table, man. What do you mean she always eats alone? That's fucked up. If I can get up in here, it means that I can get down out of here in the central hub. From there, I can see if I can get to the emergency input codes from the captain and make contact with the chief in engineering. Do you really think you can solve this by clambering around inside the walls? Even if you make it to the central hub, the rest of the ship will... Lieutenant Lord, would you... Let's keep cool. We got to keep cool. Please keep your opinion to yourself. Thank you, Lieutenant Lord. You snap back, barely suppressing your anger at her constant pessimism. But right now, I don't see many other options except for this one. And for all we know, the only people on the entire ship... for all we know, we're the only people on the entire ship who might be able to do something. I'm not about to sit around and let everyone down. Not this time. So I'm going to leave you to look here after Lieutenant Commander Quinn, unless you have anything you want to try that you think might help. Vanessa stares at you for a moment, as if weighing up at the best put down for the current situation is. Instead, she heads back to her station and starts flicking switches and pressing buttons on her control panel. All right, you do that. I'll try getting the... All right, you do that. I'll try to get the internal communication system working. Since the backups should work in a situation like this, maybe there's a way we can get them back online. Cool. Sounds like a plan. Get moving. Or are you going to stand around and gawk while I get everything done myself? All right, and there it goes. Vanessa Lord? Man, weird space future names are weird. You inadvertently sigh loudly as you turn around and reach out into the crawl space, grabbing a rung and then placing your foot on one lower down. Hopefully I can get things back online with just the chief and captain's help. Just look after Lieutenant Commander Quinn until then, all right? Vanessa turns away from you, continuing to adjust the inputs on the communication system. Yeah, sure. All right. With that... Ooh, new music. Ooh, new music. I think it's new music. Yeah, it is new music. Ah, hell yeah. With that, you lower yourself into the darkness, taking it one rung at a time. Once you're past the stationary elevator, you can feel the space you're in open up around you. Carrying downwards, you reach behind you every so often to see that if you can feel the catch system that would keep the access panel attached. After a few attempts to find it, your fingers eventually brush over a catch, and with some, I'm assuming coercion, you manage to get it to release, causing the whole panel to fall off the wall behind you and clatter to the floor in the central hub. This is the Crawling in the Dark song. Cool! Yo, a song called Crawling in the Dark is kind of fucking metal. As you step out of the crawlway, a loud banging starts from nearby. You immediately reorient yourself to face the room, placing your hand on your electroshock weapon just in case. As you scan the room in the dim lighting, the banging continues, and you realize it's not coming from anywhere in the central hub, but one of the elevators. With your hand still hovering over your weapon, you slowly move towards that noise, trying to make as little sound as possible, hoping that whoever or whatever is making that doesn't know that you're there. Despite the darkness, you can see that the elevator doors are open slightly, with an inch or so gap between the two doors. As you angle yourself, you try to see what's inside. Your question is answered. Hey, who's out there? Whoever you are, help me get these stupid doors open. Whole thing's jammed. You pause for a moment. You haven't seen Hansen since the other day outside your quarters. I know you're out there. I hear you. Get over here and help me get these doors open. Hey, what are you waiting around for? As Hansen continues to call out, you size up the situation. With the darkness of the room, you could easily come and go without him being able to tell that it's you. On top of that, it's unlikely he'd be able to force open the elevator doors on his own. Hey, come on, this isn't funny. Who's out there? Stop jerking me around. It's petty, but part of you almost relishes the idea of Hansen seeing how it feels to be trapped and unable to do anything. Whoa, holy shit, Maki Karino. That's a little fucking much, don't you think? Oh, yeah, holy shit. But at the same time, I kind of get it. Haru, if you're messing with me, I'll kick your ass. Still, he's a member of the crew and as security officer, it's your role to keep them all safe regardless of how much of a dick they might be. You take a deep breath and leave him. Help him open the doors. Hold it for a second before realizing one long constant sigh. Hey, I heard you. I know you're there. Get me out. All right, Ensign. I'll take the door on the right. Take the door on the left. On the count of 3, we pull. Great. Everyone on board. It's the Cali Coward. Figured you'd stop by here. Find a nice little space to crawl up and hide in. Helping me out so we can trade places and you can ride it out until the action's over. You immediately begin to regret your decision. Yeah. Yeah, but it's my job. Cruz, do you want to get out of there or not? Whatever. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Two of you both heave against the elevator's doors, which shifts slightly, but not enough for Hansen to get out. Okay, again. 1, 2, 3. This time the doors yield a little more to your efforts. After they open a few more inches, you step back and catch your breath and watch as Hansen sticks his arm through the gap but struggles to get any further than that. All right, once more and we should have you out of there. Shame your girlfriend isn't here. At least she's got a backbone she could be putting into this. Hansen, I will cut your goddamn arm off. You freeze for a moment as all your muscles stiffen reflexively and a wave of anger flows through you. Excuse me, Ensign? You heard me. She's the one of the two of you with any stones. If she hadn't been there to save you the other day, you'd have what? Think hard about your answer, Ensign. Can I pull my gun on him? Give me the wrong answer and you can try to squeeze out of the thick skull ears out of the gap without any more of my help. Does Hansen not realize we have a gun? I don't think he does. Forget it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now get ready. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I hate this guy. Every time I see him, I hate this guy. It takes the two of you a few attempts, but you finally manage to push the doors open to the point where Hansen can make his way through the gap between the two of them. Free of the elevator, Hansen dusts himself off and looks around whilst adjusting his jacket. So what the hell's going on? What happened to the ship? Why does everything stop working? There should be backups or something, right? You pause for a moment. Despite having been on the bridge when everything went wrong, you probably have just as much as an idea as Hansen would. Honestly, we've got no idea. I was on the bridge when it all happened. We made contact with the O'Brien, then there was this flash. Then Commander Quinn had been knocked out. All the systems were offline, even the backups. I managed to get off the bridge using the maintenance crawlway. And now we're trying to figure out a way to reboot the computer to get everything back online.
Just great. I knew this ship was a piece of junk the moment I stepped on board. You said you guys had a plan to get things back up and running, yeah? Yeah, kinda. Great, you can handle that. I'm gonna go check on the crew. Have you seen Haru? No, I haven't run into them. Shh. Okay then, I'll try their quarters. With that, Hansen heads into the darkness towards the Forsyth thoroughfare. He stops briefly, turning to face you. Lieutenant. Thanks, or whatever. Are we gonna be friends? I kind of don't want us to be friends, but it'd be nice. It's a good thing Hansen stopped talking, because if we'd let him, left him there and got his arm stuck, power rebooting would have caused him to lose it. Oh, that wouldn't have been good. No, I'm sure the safety thing would have come back on and been like, well, we can't fully close. It's not like the elevator would forcibly close itself fully. Or start moving up or down, hopefully. The pilot quickly turns on his heels and disappears into the darkness. And don't mention it. He probably won't. Alright. We got the elevators and then the thoroughfares. I don't think looking at anything's really going to make it. I can't hear anything from down that way. How eerie. You can normally hear a noise from the engines even all the way up here. Once you get used to it, though, you stopped hearing it. But now it's all gone. Now that it's gone, the silence feels louder somehow. Well, I guess we should try to go for the commander, right? Or for the captain. So if we're going for the captain, she's in the aft thoroughfare. As you leave the central hub and enter the long corridor that comprises the aft thoroughfare, the first thing you notice is the sound of your steps on the metal flooring, ringing out and echoing down the corridor. Why is there a bulkhead closed? Normally, the vibrations from the engines would dull the noise, and it would barely be perceptible over this low and steady rumble. You'd gotten to the point where you didn't even notice that the constant noise at this end of the ship. But now that the corridor is silent, its absence hits you. Alright, let's look at the bulkhead. I should be able to find the chief in engineering. If anyone can figure this out, it'll be her. Ooh, yeah, but we don't want to go to engineering just yet, right? We want to go to the captain. Because we should see if the captain's okay, right? The armory. I don't think there's going to be anything there that will help me out. I've already got my shock pistol. Even though the ship's locked down, I'm not sure trying to blow them open would be a good idea. Alright. So, wait, hold on a sec here. Where's my map? Oh, no, I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? I need to go back to the foreside. Move back to central. Move down to foreside. There we go. Okay. Move. Let's go to... Should we check on anybody? Cruz said he was going to check in on everybody. Plus, it's probably more important that we try to focus on getting everything up and running first. It wouldn't start moving up or down, most likely, but it almost definitely would force close. Oh, you think? Ugh. Don't like that. Don't like that. Check on them anyways. Okay, yeah, let's do so. Let's go to the hangar. Double-sized doors that make up the entrance of the hangar remain steadfastly closed, despite your best efforts. Although the terminal to their side is dead, just like all the others, you'd attempted to open the double doors through the brute force, since the hangar seemed like it was your best bet to access some helpful equipment. They had, however, remained inert against your efforts to pry them open using your own strength. Unsurprising, but frustrating. Even if I managed to get these doors open, there'd be another set waiting for me at the bottom of the staircase. And this would be way harder in low gravity. You pause for a moment, but you can't think of any way around it. Let's try somewhere else. Ooh, okay. All right. Yeah, let's maybe try all of our paths here. Fire control? Like everywhere else on the ship, you've met with an unresponsive terminal and a shut door. You know not to expect much, but you try anyway, knocking on the door and calling out. Hey, Gutter D's, can you hear me? You wait for a response, but you don't feel particularly worried when one doesn't come. Knowing Dylan, he's probably not realized anything has happened. I don't think he'd be much help even if he could hear me. At least someone's probably having a good time during all this. It's one way to look at it. Remember this reason for helping Hansen. As security officer, it's your duty to make sure the crew's safe. Yeah, no, and that's kind of why I was like, all right, let's not just leave him there. It'd be funny, but it also wouldn't be very funny. Can I go to the mess hall? I'd kill for a coffee right about now, but I think there's anything in. I don't think there's anything in there that would be that helpful. All right, well, crew corridors too. Let's move to the captain's corridors. Standing in front of the door to Captain Bartomew's quarters, you instinctively straighten up, sticking your chest out and your shoulders back. You know that your access card doesn't have the encoded permission to allow you access to the captain's quarters, and even if it did, the terminal to the side of the door is as lifeless as the rest of the ship. Instead, you bang forcefully on the captain's door and shout, "Yeah, like, why didn't we just do that for the other doors?" Like, again, yeah, sure, nobody can, like, hear. Oh, well, I guess if the hangar has, like, a staircase that leads down to another set of doors, yeah, I don't think he'd be able to hear me, and, yeah, and if Deez has his headphones on, yeah, all right. Captain Bartomew's, it's Lieutenant Currino, and there's been a system failure and Commander Quinn is incapacitated. We need you to give the emergency input codes to restart the ship's central computer. After waiting a few moments, you press your ear up to the door, seeing if you can hear any signs of life. From experience, you know that the crew quarters doors aren't as substantial as some of the other doors on the ship. It's not uncommon to know the exact schedules of the other crew members based on sound alone. Captain, it's an emergency. You wait a little while longer, but still don't hear anything. Damn it. Slamming your fist on the captain's door in frustration, you turn back. You'll have to figure something else out. Is there any... There's no other doors here, right? Because it's just the Lord, Cassie, Chief's quarters. Yeah, Chief's probably not in there. Oh, that's not good. That means everyone can hear your girlfriend cheating on you. Oh. There theoretically has to be an achievement for becoming friends with Hanson and dumping your cheating girlfriend. Oh. Let's go Cassie's quarters? You pause outside Cassie's room, wondering if there's any chance that you may have left a copy of the input codes in there. You don't dwell on this thought as long as a quick inspection of the terminal next to the door shows it's out of action just like all the others. Damn it. All right. I can't use my access card on anything because all the terminals are out. Talk? There's no one here right now. Well, I guess let's move back to the Foreside Thoroughfare. Let's check the other crew quarters. Hello? No one here. Let's use Cruise. Right now I couldn't get in there even if I wanted to. With the power off, there's no getting inside. It doesn't seem like anyone's in there right now anyway. What's the description of your gun say? Of my gun? Electro shotgun. It uses non-lethal rounds to deliver 50,000 volts to the target. It's intended for use against the crew in case of violence that can't be de-escalated. With power off, there's no getting in. Doesn't seem like anyone's in there. Anyway, okay, all right. So there's no. Wow, really, nowhere to go. Foreside. I guess we been through fire control. Yeah, we've been through all that. Back to the central hub. Airlock? As you enter, the airlock hatch door looms large in the darkness. A shiver runs down you and you rub your forearms. It wasn't something you noticed until now, but as you feel the goosebumps that cover your skin, you realize that the ship's temperature has now dropped noticeably. Oh, fuck, yeah, heating's gone too. I gotta find a way to I've gotta find a way to get things up and running again. Talk, no one here. Look, just the regular access panels. That doesn't dead. No time for stargazing anyway. If I want to get off the ship through here, there'd be nothing waiting for me out there, so I better stick to trying to solution on board. Emergency spacesuits for use in the event of ship depressurization, life support failure, or if the crew have to abandon ship. Hopefully I can get this solved without needing the extra air supply. Let's move back to the central. Let's move. Sickbay. Doctor? The elevators are clearly out of action. I'll have to get things back up and running before I can get Cassie to the sickbay. Oh, we're not even going to check on the doctor, huh? All right, aft thoroughfare. Use? Move to engineering. Oh, well, fucking what the... All right, why would I think that the bulkhead that says closed is... Oh, yeah, just use it, man. All right, at the end of the aft thoroughfare where the corridor would normally transition from corridor into the engineering department, instead you're met with a substantial blast door with the word engineering stenciled onto it. You run your hand over the surface before rapping on it with your knuckles. Rather than the low ring which would indicate it being relatively thin, the door returns a higher pitched noise, indicating that it's significantly thicker than normal. Unlike the rest of the doors on the ship that are designed as entrances and exits, you can tell that this one exists more to block one section off from the other. You instantly dismiss any thoughts of forcing it open. It's likely that even in the contents of the armory couldn't shift it. After a minute or two of fruitlessly inspecting it, you shrug to yourself. The only thing you can do right now is hope that the chief is nearby. Hey, Chief! You pound on the door with your fist, hoping that the sound makes its way through. Chief, can you hear me? Continuing to pound on the door and yell, stopping every so often to hear if there's any kind of response. Chief, I'm out here. Hey, Chief! After a few minutes worth of attempting to make contact, you stop and flex the fingers on your right hand, cracking your knuckles to try to dismiss the discomfort. Given the size of the engineering department, you begin to think about how close the chief would need to be to even hear you, and the odds of that happening. This is why we need a baton. Oh, wait, what? Oh, there was one before there. I have an issue with your gun functioning like that, because that means that you should absolutely be able to use it as a very temporary power source. Yeah, all right. Before you can resume your attempts, though, you hear a dull, repetitive thudding coming from the other side. That was probably super important, and I don't know Morse code. Chief, can you hear me? I'm out here. You call, pressing your ear up to the blast door to see if you can hear an answer. Instead, you just hear the same dull, repetitive thudding. At first, it seems random and erratic, but the longer you listen to it, you begin to realize that there's a pattern. Oh, God. It's so fast with it. That's great, but what does it mean? In defeat, you slam your fist against the door one more time. Chief, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'll try and find a way to get in there with you. At least I know that someone's in there. There's got to be some way I can get in touch with them. Send them a signal. Maybe there's something that I haven't thought of yet. An emergency communication system? Something that's not tied to the ship? Think! All right, well, I mean, clearly I know it's Morse code. It's got to be, right? I don't have any items that would really help. Armory wouldn't. Swipe your key card through card reader. Set to terminal armory door. There's absolutely no response. Looking at the terminal, you can tell there's no indication that it's working at all. Figures that with everything shut down, this wouldn't work. No sense of wasting time around here anyway. Need to find some way I can get in touch with the chief. Hey, John. Trying to figure out. No. So power's off across the ship here. I need to get back with your muscle mommy chief on the other side of the door. If the chief knows what if she know what she's doing, she'd be doing SOS until you respond. That'd be smart. Yeah, just start with that and be like, oh, okay. Like, I'm not gonna waste time saying all this stuff if nobody on the other side knows what the fuck I'm saying. Sorry. Let's go. God, where do we go from here? So we need to get something that we can use to communicate with her. Where all have we been? Let's look at the map. So we can't get over here. Always start with SOS. It's the one thing that everyone should know in Morse code. I mean, it makes sense. Sickbay can't get to. Armory we can't get to. I can try going back to the bridge. The airlock won't help. My quarters might have something? I guess my quarters are the one place on the entire ship I can guarantee there's nothing helpful. I can guarantee there's nothing helpful for the situation, and I can enjoy a well-earned rest later. Okay. Think. If I'm stuck on a ship with no power, how do I communicate with somebody on the other side of a bulkhead door? Again, I would just try knocking myself, but apparently that might not be an option. Back Back to the foreside. I can't get through that door. Crew corridors 2 again. I could try the captain, I guess. Move. Captain's quarters. Not expecting much, but it's always worth giving it a try in situations like this. Captain! Bang loudly on the door a few more times. Captain! Wait a little longer, but still don't hear any signs of life from Captain's quarters. What can she even be doing in there? I know the doctors assigned her to bed rest, but how ill is she? Why would I not want to go to my room? Well, I mean, I guess if I can access the air vents anywhere else. No, yeah, no. All right, yeah. Move back to the foreside. Who would have something for me that I could use? Can we go talk to Vanessa again? Maybe Miss Lord knows Morse code? Yeah, let's try it. Central hub. To the bridge. Use. You turn your access card over in your hands idly for a moment. You notice notice Vanessa isn't looking. You swipe it through the card reader on the control panel. You weren't entirely sure what you were expecting, but nothing happened regardless. Damn. Talk. Vanessa. What? So did you have any luck getting anything up and running in here? No, but I have an idea of something that might help. Oh, yeah, what? If you got out of my way and did something useful somewhere else. Okay, understood. God, fuck. Jeez. Okay. Look. Navigation, automated combat system, security measures. No, it's just all useless collection of metal and plastic. Okay. Looking out into space always seemed dull, but being here, adrift and helpless, surrounded by silence, the scope is really setting in. Probably best not to think too hard about it. Captain's chair. What terrible timing for Captain Bartimeus to fall sick. Or what would happen if Cassie happened to her instead? She's so angry. I don't think she knows Morse code. Okay. Are we sure? What? Okay, alright. Alright, geez, fuck. Alright, let's move out of here. Let's try. Where else is there? Okay. We're in Central. We can get to the aft, but we can't get to engineering here. So our lock is right between these two dots. Armory we can't go into, it said. And sickbay we can't go into, right? Move to the sickbay. Elevators are clearly out of action. Yeah. Okay, cool. Can't. Alright, so that didn't happen. Armory. Not getting in anytime soon. I should get back on task. Okay, Armory's not going to let us through either. Maybe back in the mess hall? Kill for a coffee right now. Don't think there's anything in there. Okay. Well, Alex, you know what we have to do now? We have to start doing things the American way. Well, that's the thing, is I went to the Armory twice, and it was like, nah, you can't get in, dog. Like, I gotta be looking for something, right? Can't go to the mess hall. Let's try the fire control. Dale probably couldn't help anyway. Let him enjoy his music. Hangar. Not getting in there anytime soon. Try somewhere else. Okay. So it's starting to give me the shorter, hey, no, this ain't it, dog. What does it say for task? Find a way to reactivate. Alright, well, that doesn't really help, game. We can't get into the captain's quarters. Cassie's... Again, I don't think we can, right? Pause inside Cassie's room. Don't dwell on it. Alright. Not working. And I'm sure I can't get into my quarters. Yeah, no. Can't get into my quarters either. Airlock again? It's time to take your gun? Oh. Look. This panel is the manual control for the airlock hatch. I guess it's one of the few situations we'd use it, although I don't plan on going for a spacewalk anytime soon. Are we sure about that? Can you access the air vent shafts that the maintenance manager uses to sneak around? That's how I got out of the bridge. So I was up on the bridge. We got into communications with the ship we were trying to meet up with, and there was like a huge like flash, and then it took Cassie out of command, so she's knocked out, and then the captain's like I guess quarantined in her room from earlier in the day, and all the power's out, so even the backups are gone. Start shooting everything indiscriminately. So I can't really I can't just go and use the gun. Like it won't let me like use it on something unless like the item box actually like flashes at a certain point, I guess. Use? I'll leave that where it is. I don't plan on going for a space walk anytime soon. Where's spacesuits in the event? Ship just nope. Wait, hold on. I think I figured it out here. Hold on. How do I go back to the? No. I don't want to go forward. How do I get the log? The log. There it is. Okay, hold on. Where is it? Emergency spacesuits for use in the event of a ship depressurization, failure with the life support systems, or if the crew has to abandon ship. They've got distress beacons and close-range radios installed for rescue situations. Hopefully I can get this solved without needing the extra air supply. The O'Brien is probably just out of reach for a short-range radio. If we were closer to Jupiter, we could probably signal. Knock, 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 knock. Signal, that's it. That must have been what the chief was trying to tell me. Yeah, it's a signal. Of course it's a signal. Let's see. You grab the handle on the suit's container and twist. The metal in your hand is so cold to touch, an uncomfortable reminder of the ship's decreasing ability to support life. Okay. Once the lock is undone, you open the door and, bracing the suit with your left hand, you grab the radio with your right. Oh, okay, so I'm just taking the radio off of the suit. Sure. As you pull it away from the suit, you flip the radio over to examine it. The bottom half of the device consists of a pistol grip of a... What? The bottom half of the device consists of a pistol grip with a secondary microphone and speaker that allow it to be used separately from the suit. Cool. As you investigate it further, you realize that your thumb is resting uncomfortably on a push-to-talk button. Top half of the unit's underside has a backlit LCD screen showing the current frequency it's turned to and battery level. Below the screen sits a few ambiguous buttons, and its side is a dial for tuning and a power switch. What? Turning the radio in your hand, you find where the cord that tethers the whole unit to the suit connects to an underscrew attachment to point, allowing the cable to spring back towards the suit. You quickly extend the telescope antenna and flick the power switch, which causes the sound of whining static to fill previously silent room. Then, slowly rotating the tuning dial, you work your way through the frequencies until a familiar voice comes out from the tiny speaker. An emergency broadcast from the chief engine... Oh, cool. Look at this thing. Look at this little codec. Oh, wow. It really is a pistol grip. That's cool. I like it. An emergency broadcast from Chief Engineer Mackenzie Gathes on the Cathays on the JFS Gundog to any JFS Gundog crew members or any JFS ships nearby. The Gundog has suffered a complete systems failure and assistance is needed to get them back online. I repeat, this is an emergency broadcast. Oh, okay, yeah. Gundog, yeah, sure. Chief, this is Lieutenant Carino, reading you loud and clear. I've managed to get an emergency radio from one of the suits in the airlock. I'm able to get around the thoroughfares and to the bridge, but I can't get anywhere else. Took you long enough. Don't they teach you Morse code in any basic training anymore? You're just about to push the button to send your response, but the chief cuts in. Anyway, you're in touch now. That's what counts. You said you could get to the bridge. Is that right? Yeah, that's right, Chief. Then get back up there and get the captain to give me the input codes to access the main computer so that I can get the ship running again. Slight complication. Captain's taken sick. She's not in the bridge. Classic Bartomuse. And then get up there and get the Lieutenant Commander Quinn to give me the input codes. She's out of commission too. She collapsed at the same time all the ship's power went out. You release your thumb, allowing the chief to broadcast, but where you'd expect a swiftly delivered alternative, all you get is radio static. Chief? Nothing's ever easy, huh, Lieutenant? Who's currently on the bridge, then? That'd be Lieutenant Lord. Well, she's the commanding officer on board right now, I guess. You're going to want to get up there. I've got an idea, but it's not something I can authorize. You grip the radio. Your grip on the radio tightens as a sense of apprehension grows within you. You don't know what the chief has in mind, but it requires the authority of a ship's senior officer, and you know that's got to be something dangerous. Realizing you've been holding your breath since the chief's last message, you breathe out and push the button to the radio side to send your message. Copy that, Chief. Heading up there now. What? No, she's not. Wouldn't she be? Because it'd be Captain, Lieutenant Commander, and then Lieutenant, right? Do we pull same rank? No, because we're a security officer. I think that's different. Radio in hand, you quickly make your way back up to the airlock into the central hub and then head straight for the maintenance crawlway. It only takes you a moment of groping around in the darkness to find a ladder rung before you're back on your way up to the bridge. As you climb, each rung that you grip is cold to the touch, and the air that you breathe has a brisk chill to it. You know what this means, but for the time being, decide to push that thought out of your head. You got other things to focus on. Climb up seems a lot shorter than your original climb down, and you soon emerge back on the bridge. Vanessa swivels in her chair and paces over to you. So, did you get in touch with anyone? Kind of. You bring the radio up to your face so that the microphone is level with your mouth, and you push the talk button with your thumb. Chief, I'm back on the bridge with Lieutenant Lord. Releasing the button, you walk past Vanessa, handing the radio over to her before heading towards Cassie. Vanessa looks at you from you to the radio with mild bewilderment before the Chief's voice sounds out from the speaker. Lieutenant Lord, this is Lieutenant Chief Cathy's. Do you read? As you kneel down by Cassie to check her pulse and temperature, as well as doing your best to tuck your jacket around her, the way the Chief addresses Vanessa catches your attention. You hadn't heard Chief being that deferential towards anyone, even the captain. I hear you, Chief Cathy's. Captain Bartlemews and Commander Quinn are both incapacitated, so I'm in command of the Gundog until such time as they can return to duty. Understood? You frown slightly, hearing Vanessa assert her position over the Chief like that. Although she is the ranking officer in this situation, you've not heard anyone on board pull rank that way, especially the Chief. Especially on the Chief, who you were under the impression enjoyed the respect of everyone on board, including Hansen and Haru. Yes, ma'am. Good. Now, have you got a plan, Chief Cathy's? Or has Lieutenant Corino brought me this radio so we can have a chat about how nothing's working on your end either? Fuck. We are the one in command at this point. Not only are we also a lieutenant, but we're the security officer. If both captain and first mate are down, we'd be in charge. Well, apparently the ranking says she is. As you stand to turn your face to face Vanessa, you catch the last few moments of a distasteful look she'd been making at you whilst your back was turned, and do your best to bite your tongue. Yes, ma'am. Lieutenant Corino has explained to me that both the captain and Commander Quinn are out of action, so I'm aware neither of them will be able to give me the input codes required to reactivate the central computer. We know that, Cathy's. What's the solution? The only hope we've got right now is that the captain has copies of documents that contain access codes in her quarters. If someone can get in there and they can get the codes and tell them to me, letting me reactivate the ship's systems. If we'd been able to get into the captain's quarters, we'd have done that already. The whole ship's in lockdown and there's no way to get in there. You notice the slightest pause before the Chief responds. You could be projecting, but you get the impression that she's just as fed up as you are. Not quite, ma'am. Although all the terminals and most of the hardware on the ship is dependent on the central computer, we've got a tool that we use when something needs to be disconnected from the system. We use it for maintenance or debugging, the PST or portable sub-terminal. It's effectively a standalone power pack with a microcomputer built in that provides enough power to activate the hardware attached to a terminal. It'll let us get into Captain's quarters, and then from there we can get into the codes to start the computer back up. So where is this PST? It's in the hangar. We can't get in the hangar either. I know you're stuck in engineering, Cathy's, but the story's the same for the entire ship. Another silence follows, longer this time. That's true if you're trying to get to the hangar from inside the ship, ma'am. But the Gundog has two entrances that can be activated entirely manually. The main onboarding airlock and the hangar airlock. Hangar crew airlock. If someone left the ship via the onboarding airlock, they could make their way to the crew airlock for the hangar and re-enter there. They could get the PST and make their way through the ship as normal. I see. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chief Engineer Cathy's, but aren't you yourself and Cadet Grange the only crew on board qualified for extravehicular activity in space? And you're currently stuck in engineering whilst we can't get in contact with Cadet Grange to just bring us the PST? Yes, ma'am. You begin to feel a knot in your gut and internally curse at Dalton for not having picked up enough of the Chief's know-how to have found the emergency radio on his own. And policy dictates that all EVA needs to be commanded by an operations officer. The knot in your stomach tightens as you take a deep breath in. Vanessa's eyes are now locked on you. Aw, beans. Yes, ma'am. Let us shoot the terminal to the captain's quarters. Also give us the option to raid the captain's panties, just because that would be funny. The slightest hint of a smile forms on Vanessa's face. Oh, I don't like her when she smiles. I don't like her when she smiles. Look at her. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, God. Oof. Oh, that does not look good. Back to Vivid. Oh, man. I don't... What are you guys talking about? Well, Lieutenant, it looks like you're going for a walk. You'd seen this coming as soon as the Chief had begun outlining a plan, but you'd been hoping there'd be some extra part that you hadn't been revealed yet, something that would allow you to stay on board. Faced with Vanessa's directness, the knot in your stomach tightens further. A sense of nausea rises from your gut. Fine. Some people took well to spacewalks. Some even enjoyed them so much they'd take on careers in colony construction and repair, where they'd spend more time in the vacuum of space than they did inside the colony or on ships. You were not one of those people. You'd only ever left the confines of a ship or colony a few times in your life, and almost all of those had been in evacuation drills that you'd been through in school or during citizenry courses. On every occasion that you could remember, you'd reacted badly, but managed to keep it to yourself. Something about being out in the void, an attachment clip-in, or handrail away from drifting off into the endless nothingness of space had always filled you with dread. The knowledge that you were a slip away from disappearing forever, irretrievable and helpless. See, shit like lines like that in fiction are why Miguel doesn't trust space. But despite all that, you knew full well from Vanessa's discussion with the Chief that there was not going to be any way around doing this, and right now you were the ship's and Cassie's only hope. As much as you'd hated the thought of it, you'd pushed back against the fear that had been rising up inside you. Taking a deep breath, you resigned yourself to do what you had to do. Fine, I'll do it. The Chief can walk me through everything that I need to know on my way over to the airlock. The dashing security officer diving headfirst into danger. Isn't he great, Lieutenant Commander Quinn? So selfless. Vanessa rolls her eyes, covering her mouth with the back of her hand and putting on a mocking tone. Ah, don't you me. I know that Kodachi look. How are we not supposed to get through the airlocks? Do they not run on power? You'd figure there would be like a manual release for them, right? I mean, that's what I would figure. Oh, my hero. So brave, going into space to save us. Only you can. You snatch the radio off of Vanessa and turn your back on her, heading towards the maintenance crawlway. At this point, you'd had just about all you could take of her. So the sooner the situation is resolved, you decide, the sooner you can go back to avoiding her. Oh, quit making a big deal of this with all your huffing and puffing, Lieutenant Carino. From what I've heard, hanging out in space is something of a pastime of yours. Wow, okay. Bitch. The war. Oh, wow, okay. Alright. With that comment, you feel your heart's dropped out of your chest. You quickly spin back to face Vanessa. Lieutenant? Reining in the flash of anger you just felt, you silently shake your head as you turn back and grab a hold of the first rung on the crawlway's ladder. Chief, I'm on my way to the airlock now. Walk me through what I need to know. Wait. With one hand still on the ladder's rung, you pause and turn around. Yes, Lieutenant Lord? You just about managed to ask through gritted teeth. Don't you think you're forgetting something? Doing your best to suppress the urge to scream that you can feel it building inside your chest, you pause for a moment and stare at Lieutenant Lord, trying to puzzle out what kind of mind game she's playing. Lieutenant Lord, if there's... Before you're finished, Vanessa rolls her eyes and turns on her heels, walking back over to Cassandra and squatting down. You almost yell out when Vanessa lays her hand on Cassie's hip, and you stop her to withdraw the key card from Cassie's skirt pocket. Oh. Holding it between her thumb and forefinger with a flourish, she waves it at you as she stands up and walks back over to you. Central computer can only be accessed by the captain or members of operations. Good luck getting in there without this. Oh, okay, good. She throws it. Okay. Vanessa casually tosses you the card, which you grab out of the air. You got Cassie's key card. Yay! You turn the card over in your hand a few times before pocketing it. But the chief said that the PST used its battery power to open. I can see what you and her see in each other. As if hooking a battery to a door would get you around the ship's security systems. You're still going to need that to have the right authority levels to get through. Honestly. I hate this girl. I just hate this girl. Tim, I know you trust her, but I hate this girl. At this point, your jaw is clenched so hard that it feels like your teeth may crack at any second. Well, that's not good. Don't do that. But with the cold chill of the ladder rung reminding you just how dire the situation is getting, you turn back around. Thank you, Lieutenant. You just about manage. Still there, Chief? I'm heading to the airlock now. Have you got the radio coming through the helmet speakers, Lieutenant? Oh, cool. Oh, a real codec. The Chief's voice fills your helmet. Sound quality somehow worse than the speaker on the main radio unit itself. Loud and clear, Chief. He responds, securing the radio to the sword's breast panel. Chief, you got the... You've got the emergency suit on and sealed? Yeah, currently breathing in the suit's oxygen supply. What now? Do you see the access panel next to the internal airlock hatch? Spacesuit's helmet is attached to the rest of the suit in a fixed position, so although you turn your head to check, all you can see is the helmet's interior. You turn your whole body in an exaggerated motion to look for the emergency access panel and spot it on the other side of the hatch. I see it, Chief. I'm heading over now. All right, you'll need to remove the panel in the same way that you did on the bridge. Once you've got it off, you'll see a large handle. Cranking that lever operates the manual override that will open the hatch to the airlock. Understood. Although you'd had to learn to operate the airlock manually in basic training, you didn't feel like now was the time to dismiss the chief and act like a know-it-all. She was likely getting her fill from that fill of that from Lieutenant Lord. Okay, well, let's. This is gonna have think about this. This is gonna have like another door on the other side that I'll need to close this before I can open that, right? Like it's an airlock. This won't just like suck everybody out into space as soon as I open this giant door, right? You kneel down by the panel and attempt to find the gap between the edge and the surrounding wall. This is made a lot harder by the thick material of your suit. After a few attempts to find it, the tips of your gloves catch in the recess. You work your digits in more until you find a catch and that you can squeeze. Ah. The panel falls away from the wall, and you take hold of it, placing it to the other side. Underneath is a long handle marked emergency use only. All right, that's the access panel out of the way. I see the handle. Good. Now you're going to want to turn it counterclockwise and keep it going until the hatch is open. Understood. I guess just use it again, yeah? Placing your left hand at the bottom of the handle and your right hand at the top, you apply as much force as you can to push it clockwise. Your initial heave barely moves it despite your effort. Wouldn't I want to do it counterclockwise? Come on. You grip the handle again and place your entire body weight behind your effort to shift it. This time it moves more noticeably, but when you look at the airlock hatch, it doesn't appear to have opened at all. With another grunt push, you push the lever the full 90 degrees, allowing it to return to its neutral position. Although it still resists you, you're able to feel the ratchet mechanism begin to move. Push the handle 90 degrees again before letting it reset. You adjust your grip and push the handle again. Easy! You're playing through gritted teeth as you feel the mechanism slowly but surely moving a little bit each time. As you carry on this process of straining against the mechanism, you complete crank after crank. You can hear the mechanisms of the airlock groan and strain with each turn. Eventually, something gives and the mechanisms in the airlock uncouple, releasing their locks, and the whole thing slides open. Oh, wow. Okay, that seems like a lot of automation for just this little thing. Okay, cool. All right. Whew. I'm like, there's no way it'll let me suck everything out of this place out of here, right? And I called out of work. Freedom! Hey, there you go, buddy. That sounds nice. Oh, it sounds nice. Let's see. You can feel the sweat on your brow and curse that you'd put on the suit beforehand, preventing you from wiping it off. Okay, Chief, I'm heading into the airlock chamber. What's next? You'll see a similar panel on the opposite end of the hatch inside the chamber. Same deal, but in reverse. Makes sense? Okay. Once inside the airlock chamber, you spot an identical access panel and quickly get to work. Unfortunately, it's just as hard to close the hatch as it was to open it. Interior hatch is closed. Now what? You try to keep your breathing under control as the inside of your helmet begins to heat up, reminding you of another reason you've never been fond of them. What you're going to need to do next will be to vent the air in the chamber and then open the exterior hatch. To start with, the Chief walks you through step by step through the processes required. Although you remember most of this from your training, you're thankful for the help as a few parts had slipped your mind. You carry on following the Chief's orders until, with one final monumental heave, you get the external hatch open. You step away from the lever and head over to the opening. Seeing the stars in front of you rather than through a terminal or view screen fills you with a familiar dread you felt on the bridge. All right, Chief, I'm heading out. Pressing firmly on a switch on the suit's breast panel, you hear a momentary high-pitched whine as the soles of the boots are drawn towards the airlock floor. With the electromagnetics now active, each step is an effort, but at least you know you won't go hurtling into space. That's important. You place one foot right on the edge of the airlock hatch and stare out into the emptiness. You see nothing but stars, with light years of gulf between them and you. With your next step, you head out into the nothingness, pivoting on the axis of your foot at the edge of the airlock. The step that you took into space brings your foot back down on the Gundog's exterior hull. Even though the ship had fallen silent since its power had been knocked offline, that hadn't been true silence. There'd been the echo of your footsteps, the almost inaudible sounds of things other crew members were doing on the far-off reaches of the ship. Out here, all you could hear was your own breathing and the whine of magnets. Oh, I don't like that. You take a moment to orient yourself, and you turn 90 degrees to your right, angling yourself towards the front of the ship. With a little difficulty, you bring one foot up and away from the hull and place it back down in front of you. Slowly but steadily, you make your way towards the hangar airlock. Ugh. Why do you get a picture? What the fuck? Still with us, Lieutenant Carino? Haven't gone hurtling off into space or anything? You roll your eyes as you plod forwards. Wait, how are you talking to me? Did I get the other radio for you? I don't think I would have gone down, got the other radio, and brought it back up to you here. I'm still here, Lieutenant Lord. Good. What's your ETA on the hangar airlock? You quickly do some rough maths around what you know about the Gundog's dimensions. Airlock's around the midpoint of the ship, 250 meters long. About 5 minutes, Lieutenant. Vanessa, you better get your Tata to reward us for this crap. I don't know if she's gonna do that. I don't think she's that kind of girl. Cassie might, but I don't think we can expect that from Lieutenant Lord. This isn't a Sunday afternoon stroll at the replica gardens, Carino. Pick up the pace. You allow yourself the opportunity to curse openly at Vanessa before hitting the push-to-talk button again. Yes, ma'am. You carry on the laborious march to the hangar crew airlock, slowly heaving 1 foot at a time away from the ship's hull before placing it back down in front of you. There are a few awkward areas where the ship's hull rises or falls, and you have to navigate your way across them. The loss of a constant bearing begins to disorient you, but you march onward, ensuring that you're heading consistently in a straight line regardless of orientation. Eventually, you see distinct markings that indicate an airlock hatch in the distance. Oh, thank God. Although it's marked the same way as the one you'd emerged from, this one is much smaller, scarcely bigger than the typical doorway inside the Gundog. You enjoy a momentary celebration, then pick up the pace. All right, Chief, I'm at the hangar crew airlock. Okay. If you look to the right of the door, you should see an access panel with a lever underneath, just like the others. Okay, let's see. Oh. Due to your orientation from the standing on the ship's hull, the airlock entry is laid out at your feet. You shift yourself to be able to look at the right and see the panel, which you head over to and squat down in front of, running your fingers around its edges to find the now familiar recess. With a practice movement, you undo the clip. Unlike the panels inside the ship that freely come away, this one swings on a hinge, revealing a lever underneath. What the is there puzzles in this? Oh, we're not maintenance crew. Hopefully this should be easier on a smaller hatch. You mutter to yourself, reaching for the lever. Chief? What is it? It's the lever. You run your hand over a few more times over the lever, which is visible, but inlaid into the hull, perfectly level with its surroundings. Whereas you'd been able to remove the panel cover by finding the recesses where it was nothing like that here, making grasping the lever impossible. I can't get any purchase on it. Any purchase on it? It's completely flush with the hull. There's no way to grip it. Yaha. Chief? Lieutenant Lord, do you know what the current security code is? Of course I don't. They're like emergency input codes. Only the captain or second in command knows them. Fuck. Why? Chief Engineer Kathy, as I asked you a question. There's a moment of radio static. We can hear the chief sigh through the crackle and distortion. In order to gain entry to an airlock from the outside, you need to input the ship's security code into the number pad. It's an analog locking mechanism, but you still need that code. Okay. God damn it! God damn it, God damn it, God damn you, miserable excuse for a captain. God damn you, Quinn, you absolute airheaded bitch. Hey, watch yourself, Lord. Oh, shut up, Carino. Because of your stupid bimbo girlfriend deciding now's a great time to take a nap, I'm stuck on a dead ship running out of air. Trying to herd you knuckleheads around on stupid, pointless errands. Oh, fuck. No, I remember this. Cassie said all of the codes to the last ship that she was on to the same password, which means she had to have done it here. Which, if she set the password, what was our anniversary? Oh, fuck. Oh, I hope, hold on, let's see if it tells us. It's got to be that's what it is, though. That's the only, number code I've seen. Oh, man. Stow it. I'm not a big fan of this either, but right now we're the best hope the ship's got. So if you could put a lid on the gigantic bitch act for 5 minutes and help us figure out how to solve this, we can... How dare you? I said stow it. 5 minutes, Lieutenant Lord. And once I'm on board, I can handle the rest of it myself. Then you can go back to pretending you're the most important crew member. This is insubordination. I'll write you two, that's enough. Both you and Vanessa snap into silence with the chief's interjection. Before either of you can start up again, she carries on in a commanding tone. Lieutenant Lord, do you know how long the security code is? Do you know the punishment for addressing a senior officer like that? No, ma'am, I do not. But if it gets Lieutenant Carino on board any sooner, I'll say it's worth it. Do you know how long it is? It's 4 digits. Fuck, it is the anniversary. Fuck. Thank you. Now, do you have any idea? Of course I don't have any idea. It's Quinn's responsibility to generate and set those kinds of codes. Cassie, I love you. Oh, I can figure this out. Oh, don't give me the flashback with remove the numbers. God damn it. Fuck. Oh, man. Oh, by the way, if you ever want to access my quarters, the passcode for the airlock is our anniversary. Womp, 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 womp. It's pretty much the same passcode I use for everything. I think I might know it. What? I said I think I might know it. It's... You rack your brain trying to remember the day where you and Cassie visited the Europa amusement park. Oh, no. Fuck. It was... Oh, fuck. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I can remember this. Hold on. Do I have... No, don't skip. I can't access the sidebar. Fuck. It's only here. Oh, man. That was a week ago. I want to say it's like 0211. Hold on. Can we... We can make a save here. Okay, hold on. Let's do save. Save here. All right, we have the save. Oh, God, what's our anniversary? Fuck. I want to look it up, but hold on. I got to see if I can remember it first. Fuck. Man, is this going to be like Zero Escape where I got to like have a notepad down to remember this shit? Damn it. I figured I could like, I couldn't take the picture with me. That's not how that works. It would never be just the captain and first mate. The chief security officer, us, would also have the codes. Also, it's not insubordination because you don't outrank us and you're not in charge. If Vanessa didn't already know how to jump our bones, she absolutely wants to do so now. Yeah, you think? I don't know if that's the case. I'm not getting those vibes from her. Hold on. Give me like 3 minutes here. I need to go to the bathroom here. I'm gonna leave my phone here, so I'm not cheating. But I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick because maybe that'll help me remember. I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back. All right. Oh, you're also trying to look it up? Okay, you know what? Hold on. I do remember I took a photo of it, right? Does it show? No, I only took a photo of the front. There's no date on the front of it. Shit. Okay. God, I love my sports shirt. I look so good in my sports shirt. Fuck. Okay. Oh, I knew I should have took a picture of the code. Fuck, like as soon as it was like, oh yeah, hey, here's this date. Okay, we put a save in, right? Let's just try. We're going to try it first. So I think it's 0, 2, 1, 1. Enter? Oh my god, did I fucking remember it? You quickly punch in the 4-digit security code and hit the enter key. As soon as you do, the lever rises out of its recesses. Oh my fucking god, I got it! And before you say I looked it up, I didn't actually look it up. I said it before we even got to this point. Holy shit. I knew it ended in 1-1. I just couldn't remember if it was like 02 or 03. Oh, fuck yeah. God, I'm so fucking good at visual novels and remembering dates and shit. Only when it's been a week. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, it's a date. Fuck yeah, I love you, Cassie. You got it, Lieutenant? Yeah, it was 0211 in case that helps. And how did you know that security code was? That is sensitive information. You don't want to tell Vanessa the reason you were able to guess the code. It was during Cassie's anniversary, so instead you scramble for a lie. It's the passcode for Lieutenant Commander Quinn's quarters. I can't believe it. Those codes are supposed to be as secure. How could she... for the time being, Lieutenant Lord, how about we just focus on the fact that I'm able to get into the hangar? Shifting your position away from the number pad, you squat down by the raised lever. Taking it in both hands, you find it much easier to crank than the ones on the main airlock, and in no time at all, the exterior hatch of the airlock is open. You step inside the ship, and you find yourself in a chamber almost identical to the airlock you'd left earlier, with the exception that this one is much smaller. Moving quickly now, you close the exterior hatch behind you and follow the inverse process you'd carried out to leave the ship, pressurizing the chamber with oxygen and opening the internal hatch. In a few short minutes, you're back inside the familiar space of the ship's hangar, and you remove your helmet, happy to be breathing something other than the suit's oxygen supply. You then disengage the electromagnetics before removing the suit completely, making sure to take the radio with you. Now unencumbered by its bulk and in the low gravity of the hangar, you gently drift towards the equipment storage, the uneasy silence surrounding you. Hell yeah. Oh, thank God we're back into the music. Oh, he might love you, Cassie, but I hate you. Let's look around. Just the normal things, right? Okay. Tools, equipment, supplies, portable sub-terminal that she mentioned should be in here somewhere. I guess I should get looking. None of that's doing any good right now. I'll have to look through the crates by hand. With the power off, the door's not going anywhere. It's a good thing the crew airlock can be controlled manually. The armored frames are powered by an internal generator, so they're one of the few things on the ship that still work. Not much use, though, since they need to tear their way out of the hangar to get anywhere. The armored frame... yeah, okay, cool. Alright. Hey, I don't see Dalton anywhere. Where could he be? Well, I can't move through just yet. I guess use? Let's see. If that PST is going to be anywhere, it'll be amongst all the stowed equipment and gear, so... Come on. Come on. Oh, hold on. One sec. Good God. All right. Yes, I get it. I'm getting messages. What am I? Oh, right. Yeah. Give me 1 sec. I just gotta do this real fast. Yada. Dalton is probably sleeping inside the mecha again. See, John, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, he's got to be in there. Like, that's probably why he hasn't responded. Or he's like, yo, hey, if shit goes south, I'm already in the giant robot, which has its own power supply. That's what I would do. And it's, safe for hiding in case we're being, like, onboarded by somebody else. All right, get that out of the way. Yes. Boom. Okay. Good. You're fine. You don't care. Don't matter. There we go. Okay. Let's see. If that PSD is going to be anywhere, it'll be amongst all the stowed equipment and gear, so... In the darkness, the collection of stacked or suspended crates, containers, and various pieces of heavy machinery looms intimidatingly. Looking for from container to container, you realize that none of them are marked in a way that makes any sense to the uninitiated. Shaking your head, you reach for the radio to ask the chief where you'd be able to find it. Before you can call her, you hear the rustle of a jumpsuit's fabric behind you moments before a wavering voice demands, "Stop right there, intruder. Identify yourself." You raise your hand slowly, being careful not to make any sudden movements. Dalton had done surprisingly well to get the drop on you. If he was ever under the impression you were the enemy, he should be armed to confront you like this. At ease, cadet. It's me, Lieutenant Carino. Lieutenant, I'm sorry, I thought that... Turning around slowly, hand still raised, you smile. Don't worry about it, you did good to sneak up on me like that. If I was the enemy... Pausing mid-sentence, you sigh as you realize Dalton isn't actually holding a firearm. Well, I mean, what are you gonna do? You still gotta at least make. You gotta bluff your way out of it. Cadet, where's your weapon, sir? If I had been the enemy, what were you planning on making me do without a weapon for encouragement? Dalton pauses briefly, and you see the realization flash in his eyes. Sorry, I didn't think that. Well, I thought, which is, Hey, don't worry about it, kid. It's all good, man. Ease up, Dalton. When all this is sorted out, we'll go over anti-boarding procedures, okay? Yes, thank you, sir. Although, what exactly is going on, Lieutenant? I was just finishing up something when all the power went out. I haven't been able to get in touch with anybody. It takes you a few minutes, but you quickly fill Dalton in on the events taking place on board the ship, including your current objective of obtaining the portable sub-terminal. The emergency suit radios. Why didn't I think of that? Chief's gonna be so mad. She was teaching me suit maintenance just last week. Hey, take it easy, cadet. No one else on the ship figured it out on their own either, so don't beat yourself up over it. I guess. So don't worry about that. What we need to do now is find the PST. Do you know where it's kept? I think so. Let me look. With a kick against the containers next to him, Dalton propels himself towards a set of smaller crates. Once he arrives, he watches as he opens one, rummages through various bits of electronic adjacent looking hardware, which he tediously replaces before closing the lid and moving on to the next one to it. Takes the cadet checking a few different storage crates before eventually he withdraws a device the size of a briefcase. With it firmly in hand, he slowly drifts back towards you, pressing it once back. Here we go, Lieutenant. This is what you're after. You got the portable sub-terminal. So, this is the portable sub-terminal, huh? You take the hefty device from Dalton and turn it over a few times to investigate it from different angles. The exterior is largely one off-white plastic shell with a handle attached, allowing you to carry it like a briefcase. The one visible seam that runs around the entire casing has two conspicuous clasps that you realize causing part of the device to fold out, revealing a keyboard alongside various screens, buttons, disk drives, and withdrawable cables. Alright, cadet, can you give me the quick rundown on how to use this? Yes, sir. I guess the entry through the thoroughfare would be a good place to try it out. Sounds better than going for another walk outside the ship. Let's go. Two of you make your way through the hangar and up the flights of stairs that lead to the foreseeable thoroughfare. Foreside thoroughfare. Once at the top, you're faced with the unyielding set of double doors. Okay, sir. First, you need to take the cable from the PST and connect it to the underside of the terminal to whichever door you want to open. After that, you turn the device on. If you do that now, I'll show you the rest once it's active. PST. A miniature battery-powered computer. It's used for maintenance and debugging on the ship's systems. The battery should be enough to power the doors I need open. Following Dalton's instructions, you kneel by the terminal and withdraw the cable from the device. It's awkward in the darkness, but you eventually connect a cable to a port on the bottom of the terminal. Once you got the sub-terminal connected, you can use it in the same way you would the normal terminal. Just select the right function from the menu and insert your keycard into the slot when it requests you. Give it a try now. Alright, let's see. I don't know how long the battery on this thing will last. I should only use it when it's strictly necessary. That's important, probably. Access? Using the small keycard, you select the override function, and then, as Dalton advised, insert Cassandra's keycard. As expected, though, although slightly slower than you'd like, the door opens, allowing you to access the 4-side thoroughfare. Hell yeah. Great work, Cadet. All I need to do now is get this to the captain's quarters, then go to engineering, and we'll have the gun dog back up and running in no time. You okay there, Cadet? Yeah, I forgot that you had to go get the codes from the captain's quarters. Isn't that against the rules or insubordination or something? I thought it was forbidden to go into the captain's quarters unless explicitly instructed to for duty. He sighs as Dalton shakily removes the cable from the terminal underside and closes the lid on the PST. Technically, yes, but right now the choice is insubordination or we all suffocate in the vacuum of space. Suffocate? But don't worry about it. I'm sure the captain will understand why I had to do it. Besides, I've always wanted to see what their quarters looks like, so, I'd say it's worth it, right? I guess. You place a hand on Dalton's shoulder and take the terminal from him. Anyway, you take it easy here. Try to raise the chief on the radio and see if she's got anything for you to do. I gotta get moving. Yes, sir. With that, you give Dalton a casual salute, and in return, he throws you a rigid, formal salute right back at you. Smiling to yourself, you head through the now open double doors and into the thoroughfare. I like this kid. This kid's great, you know? Again, this isn't insubordination. Let's see. Now the subreddit for Valhalla is called Waifu Bartending. Oh, I've never played Valhalla, so I don't know. I still think that taking the American way would have been infinitely easier. Vanessa thinks she's in charge, and she did order us into the captain's quarters as part of our duty. Yeah, it's true. If anything, this falls back on her. All right. Let's go to Corridors 2. Yeah, if this thing has a limited amount of uses, I don't really want to fuck around with it too much. But, oh, I can just hit triangle to go to that. Oh, that's nice. Square? No, triangle's the only shortcut. Okay. Let's make another save right here just in case, Just in case. You never played Valhalla? For shame. I don't think I have. All right, here. We made a save. One sec. Valhalla. And there's that Expedition 33. God, everybody keeps talking about that shit. I really got to play that. Just got to figure out time for a whole nother RPG, right? How the hell do you spell it? V-A... dash... Well, maybe I could just look at it for this. Valhalla? No, not that Valhalla. That's Valkyrie. No. Maybe not. No. Come on. What is it? Vol... 1-1? I mean, that should come up, right? Oh, it is here. Valhalla, a cyberpunk bartender action. What the fuck? What kind of game? Oh. And mix drinks and change lives. I'm going to be honest. I've always heard, the name Valhalla. I've seen that, that this game exists. Never seen anything about it. Would not have assumed it's this kind of a game. But you know who I think would honestly be, super into this? I think Miguel would super be into this. Yo, Rad Sheba? What up, dog? You'll pet me sooner or later. Cool. Cyberpunk bartender action. Valhalla. All right. Oh, all right. We'll put it on the list then. Yeah, never seen it. Fucking love this game. All right. Well, it's cheap. It's old, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, 2019. No, it's not really that old. Oh, okay. All right. It's on the list. We got it in there. All right. Okay, we made the save. Let's try to go into the captain's quarters. Standing outside the captain's quarters, you look at the heavy device in your hand. It's taken longer than you'd like to get here, but at least now you can get these codes from the captain. Okay, so first I get the PST. You kneel down by the terminal inside the door, laying the PSD on the ground, unclipping the catches that hold the front unit closed. After it starts up, you swiftly draw out the cable and connect it to the terminal's underside. Squinting at the screen's phosphorescent glow in the low light, you scroll your way through the series of menus to select a unlock function. Once you hit enter on the command, prompt shows up on the screen. Alright, so now we put in Cassie's card. Once the device reads your key card, you hear the soft whir of the door unlocking and a hiss as it slowly opens. It's comparatively old. Unfortunately, its sequel is dead as fuck. Oh, were they making a sequel and it just never happened type of deal? One of my friends bought Expedition 33 at the suggestion of multiple coworkers. Yeah, man, I keep hearing good shit about it. Again, at some point I'd like to play it, but you know, who knows when that's going to be. Okay, I can leave this here for the time being. You stand up and step in front of the door, which continues its painfully slow opening. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, fancy. Captain, are you... That's... Ugh. As you step across the threshold into the dark of the captain's quarters, you're instantly overwhelmed by a powerful fetor. You gag and stumble your way back to the door, taking a deep breath outside the corridor's sterile air. You try to compose yourself, but the odor drifts out and around you as you a particularly acrid waft stings the back of your throat as you take another breath, causing you to gag again. Oh, that's not good. The atmosphere on the ships and even the colonies are carefully regulated and the air supply constantly scrubbed and recycled. Because of this, strong smells are something that are almost never encountered and quickly resolved. You realize that with the ship's life support out of action, this hasn't been happening, and whatever's causing the stench in the captain's quarters has been left to putrefy in the air in this awful miasma. After a few more retches, you steel yourself and re-enter the room. Oh my god. What the hell's going on? Before heading in, you bring your arm up to the front of your mouth and nose and do your best to bear the stink. Although you're doing your best to breathe as lightly as possible, the odor still assaults you. Almost too much to bear. Almost too much to bear. Captain, are you... Captain, are you in here, Captain? With no answer, you carry on deeper into the quarters. As you grow accustomed to the smell, you begin to pick up the unique odors that it's comprised of. The first scent you identify that brings back memories of your early flight training. The acidic tang of vomit. Ugh. The second takes you a little while longer, sour and chemical. You wonder for a moment if it's one of the substances they use to strip paintwork from the ships or armored frames, but then you spy an empty bottle on the desk and realize what it is, a stale whiskey. Sick, huh? With the cause of the captain's absence now obvious, you look around the room. To the left is another closed door, to the right you see an open doorway, and what looks like the end of the bed. Captain! You call out again as you head towards it. Although your reason for being here isn't entirely justifiable, you still feel at least a bit hesitant about barging in. Captain! Nothing. She's a drunk. Alright, Captain, I'm coming in. We need those. Having stepped through the doorway, you find yourself in a room that's much closer to a normal bedroom than the crew quarters. Oh, no, not that. Rather than access panels flush with the walls for the storage, the room has actual furniture. A chest of drawers sits below a large mirror, and a bedside table right next to the unmade queen-size bed. For a moment, you think, just like Cassie, this won't... Blech. For a moment, you think that, like Cassie is wont to do, is... What the fuck? For a moment, you think that, like Cassie is wont to do, the captain has just thrown her worn uniform onto the bed and left it all in a heap. Before you turn back to sluggish movement, as the mass crumpled clothing turns over, reveals to be Captain Bartomuse herself. Oh, hello. Captain. You throw a salute and hold it for a moment before you realize the captain is completely oblivious to your presence. Tentatively making your way towards the captain's bedside, you register the smell of stale whiskey is strongest in her immediate vicinity. As you look around, you notice another bottle almost lies mostly empty, with a small pool of amber liquid left in one of its corners. Captain. You run your hands back through your hair and sigh loudly. Regardless of all this, you remind yourself you're here to get the emergency input codes. won't. Something a character tends to do a lot. See, I always figured it was a want to do, like W-A-N-T, a won't to do. I guess I never really like looked that up to confirm it's won't. Captain. Hey, Captain Bartimeus. You place your palm on the captain's upper arm and rock her gently. Okay, good. She's alive. Thank God. I'm like, we're going to get here and this girl's going to be dead. Okay. Captain, come on. You need to wake up. We need your emergency input code. Captain, wake up. Captain. You step back and pinch the bridge of your nose with your thumb and forefinger. Despite everything, it doesn't seem the captain will be waking from the stupor anytime soon. Oh, come on. After everything. If I can't get these codes from the captain directly, maybe she keeps a copy of them around here or something? Worth a shot. Let's try talking to her one more time. Captain, come on, wake up. Can't you tell me where the codes are? Alright. That is an actual phrase. Won't to do something as like a rote or habitual. Game, Alex. You have an item that will probably help out quite a bit here. You want me to shoot her? Hold on. That we make a save state for that real quick. Hold on. I don't know if that's the case. Yeah, okay. It won't let me shoot her. Or punch her in the tit if you want to use the sidearm. Let's look around here. What all does she have? Just these 5, huh? An empty bottle of whiskey, aside from a few leftover drops. Europa Colony Special Blend. Pretty nice desk. Might be where the captain does all of her work when she's not on the bridge. If that's the case, then, as I thought, it's got a few drawers on the back next to where she'd sit. If the codes are anywhere, they'd be in here. Captain's bedroom. It's actually pretty nice. This is the first time I've seen a captain's quarters, so I didn't know they were this different. Privilege of rank, I guess. A painting of the first colony fleet to enter Jupiter's orbit. Cool. Europa Colony Special Blend. Keep that in mind for later. Oh, yeah, you think? I can remember that. If I remember my civics lessons, they were funded by a wealthy Terran industrialist who had them built to serve as habitats for a workforce that would harvest resources from Jupiter and her moons for his company's sake. After a few decades, the population had enough of existing with no autonomy and living on company script, so they took control of the fleet and petitioned to join the Solar Federation. We all know how that ended. If the captain's got an actual bedroom, I wonder if this is an... it's an actual bathroom, all right, but now I know where the smell of vomit is coming from. What was I expecting to find in there anyway? All right, well, there's nothing else there, so let's use the desk, huh? I know I've seen Cassie hand the captain printed reports of status updates. Maybe she's still got a copy of those codes in here. You try to open the top drawer, but the small amount of initial give stops almost immediately as you hear a clunk. You try a few more times and then spot a keyhole to the left of the drawer. Checking the second or third drawer gives you the same result. Locked, of course. I'll have to find the key. The captain is really lucky we're a good person. Europa Colony Special Blend. The myth is that they used to brew it in old fuel tanks, which gave it its particularly potent edge. From how it tastes, though, you may not think it's a myth. I'd never touch it, not that the captain's left enough to share it. Ugh. You're uncomfortable enough making your way in here the first time, but now that you're about to rummage your way through the captain's personal effects, you feel even worse. Let's get this over with. Doing a quick scan of the room in the hopes that the captain may have left a key on top of a chest or drawers or beside her table proves fruitless, so you tentatively step back inside, nervously looking back to the captain's comatose form every few moments. Sorry about this, Captain. Standing by the chest of drawers, you lay your hand down on top of its... Standing by the chest of drawers, you lay your hand down on its top and drum your fingers through before nervously pulling the top one open. Seeing the folded clothing inside, you quickly close it, going on repeat process for the next 2 drawers, finding nothing. Stepping back, you take another look around. The only immediately obvious place left to check is the drawer beside the table, right next to the captain. All right. Moving over to it, you squat down beside the unit, acutely aware that the captain's sleeping right next to you. In the low light, it's next to impossible for you to make out the contents of the drawer, so you settle for reaching inside and feeling your way through it. Oh yeah, this will land well. I'm sure this will land real well. Running your fingers over the various contents, you try to figure out what's in there. A thin plastic surface with regular bumps, which feels like it has a foil underside. A small glass bottle with a series of raised dots just under the label. Various individual papers. Aha! Grab a hold of what feels like a key card clipped onto a lanyard and pull it out of the drawer. The metallic jangling sound that comes with it is quickly revealed to be a key ring featuring various different keys. One of these has got to be a key for those. Hold on. Are you still asleep? Are you still asleep? You're not still asleep. Hey, Captain. Hey. All right, look. So how does this work? I talk, you talk. Lieutenant. You freeze in place with your hand half out of the drawer, holding onto the captain's identity card and keys. You hadn't seen her stir. In the blink of an eye, Captain Bartimeus had managed to reach out and grab hold of your wrist. I'm going to explain myself. Captain's grip on your wrist isn't particularly strong, but the shock has rendered you perfectly still. You slowly turn your head to face her and see her lazily gazing at you through the darkness. Lieutenant, you hold your breath for a moment and then exhale slowly, calming yourself. What are you... Composing yourself, you speak calmly and quietly. I'm sorry, Captain. It's an emergency, and I've come to get your input codes. Emergency? All the ship systems have gone offline. Commander Quinn has collapsed. I've been working with Chief Cathy's and Lieutenant Lord to get your codes so that we can get the ship back online. The captain blinks groggily a few times and releases your wrist, drawing your hand back to rubber eyes. As she does, you slowly take the keys from the bedside drawer stand. That's why I'm here. I thought the codes might be in your desk drawer, but I needed the key. Although you're doing your best to maintain your tone and demeanor, on the inside your heart is racing as you consider the possibility of being a court-martial here and now. Sounds important. Well, yes, ma'am. I'd say we all consider it pretty crucial right now. Captain continues to gaze at you as you stand at attention in the darkness. After a moment in which you think she may have fallen back to sleep, she rolls onto her back and brings her hand to her forehead. The printout with the latest access codes, it's in the second drawer. Oh, thanks. You breathe a sigh of relief as the captain rolls away to face away from you. Just don't read the report. Ma'am? You wait for a few moments, but eventually a gentle snore emerges from the crumpled heap that is Captain Bartimeus, and you relax. Second drawer. Thanks, Captain. You got the captain's keyring. That's going to be fucking important. I have the keys to the car. Okay? You have done literally nothing court-martialable. But you still worry, I guess. All right, let's see. Which one? I would like to use the keys. You spend a few moments working your way through the selection of keys that hang from the ring on the end of the captain's lanyard. You're able to discount a few based on their unusual shapes, but finding the right one is still a tricky task in the dark. Go in the other room. You have the keys. The bathroom? John, I don't think I want to go in there. This girl is like 3 bottles drunk, and she's been throwing up. I don't know if I want to go in there. But we could use these keys for a few other rooms if it lets us keep them. Eventually, you find one that slides easily into the lock and turns the mechanism, which lets out a surprisingly hefty clunk. The captain said the codes were in the second drawer, so you open the drawer first and purposely leaf through the collections of papers, reports, and files that it contains. Crew manifest, security updates. Aha! You see the telltale tractor feed edges of the printer paper that you've seen Cassie produce updates and reports for the captain on sticking out from underneath a manila folder. I love the future where we still print this shit out on an old school printer paper with the slightly detached sides with the circles all over them. As you lift the paper out of the drawer, the folder begins to spill its contents. You quickly grab it to stop everything from falling out, and as you do, you can't help but read its title, JCF Naval Investigation Commission Findings, Incident 00784, 2109-2009. Subject, Rear Admiral M. Bartermuse. With what you believe to be the printout that would contain the codes in one hand and this report in the other, you look backwards towards the captain's bedroom as you remember her instructions. Just don't read the report. You hesitate for a moment, rereading the title. Rear Admiral. Make a save and read that shit. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it, huh? All right. Well, but we're gonna come back. I don't want that to be the thing that happens here. Let's read the report, and then we'll reload the save and then put it back. Learning the truth. Oh man, it was a trophy. Fuck. You stare at the cover of the report for a few moments before looking back to the printout, then to the captain's bedroom. Placing the printout back in the drawer, you open the folder and begin to leaf your way through its contents. You skim the first few pages, which outline the investigation's intention to assess the actions taken by Rear Admiral M. Bartermuse in the battle in lunar orbit. Following on from that are a series of diagrams and charts that you recognize to be ship movements sorted by time, followed by annotated or captioned stills taken from ship or armored frame-based recording devices. As you work your way through them, you see what they are being used to illustrate. A squadron of JCF ships pulls away from the main fleet and is eventually intercepted and then decimated by the enemy. Oh, fuck. Okay. The final photographs show the few remaining ships returning to the fleet in a state of disarray, with all of them suffering extensive damage. As you move past the pictures and diagrams, you flick through the pages that outline a breakdown of losses, ships, armored frames, pages and pages of crew member names. Oh, fuck. Eventually, you get to the last few pages of the report where you skim through the conclusion. This inquiry finds that by leaving the defensive position for an unsanctioned offensive, thereby opening a point of access through the E field, Rear Admiral Mary's Bartermuse, significant loss to armored frame groups. Wait, E field? Oh, no. Oh, shit. You were part of the reason why this happened. Oh, no. Okay, all right. This is Calic 6. They cut off our path. There's more. There's a whole squadron of carriers coming in from E-Field. Calic 1. They're going to cut you off from the fleet. Oh, beans. Oh, man. Calic 6. Respond. Calic 6, what's going on? How many carriers are coming in from E-Field? You stop and lay the report at the captain's desk, staring at it, rereading the conclusion again and again. Adversely impacted flights included Thebe flight, Carm flight, Carpo flight, Calic flight. Oh, man. You close the report and place it back into the drawer. Almost mechanically, you reach for the printout you've been handling a few moments before and methodically scan through it until you see what you're after. Classified core system access codes. Generation date 2/14. How are we able to read these papers but not see anything else? For the captain and second only, you slowly rip the relevant page from the rest of the document at its perforated edges, then fold it up and slide it into your pocket. After this, you methodically place the rest of the paper back into the drawer, which you slide closed. You got the access codes. Aw, man. With the codes in your possession, you now calmly make your way back towards the corridor outside the captain's quarters where you left the PST. As you approach the doorway, you absent-mindedly take hold of the radio and push down the transmission button. Okay. All right. Oh, man. Oh, do we stay with our actions? Drunk captain's growing on me. Do we want to reload? Because, again, I feel like I wouldn't have selected to read those. But it definitely is one of those things of like, oh, we didn't just read, like, some crazy shit. I bet there's achievement for not reading them, too. Alex, here's what I think. There's going to be a split later in the game. Yeah, you think? I thought you said there was potentially just one ending to this, though. John could be right, though. There may be a trophy for not reading them. We've got the save. I say we just leave it as is. Again, I think the character would have seen those and gone, keep the save and then use it for the anti-captain route. Has to exist, and then save you didn't reread the pro-captain route. Okay, sure. So which do we want to go with? I say we have the split at these certain points. This is probably going to be one of those things where I'm going to need to go through it multiple times if I want to get all the trophies anyway. So we've got the save for it. So I'm okay with that. We'll stick to the timeline. We're going to try not to reload unless we really feel like we should. So let's stick with what we've got. Okay, Chief, Lieutenant Lord, I've got the codes. You release the push to talk button and wait. You give it a moment, but instead of more instructions from the Chief or some kind of backhanded congratulations from Lieutenant Lord, all you hear is a powerful hiss of static. Chief? You try again. Lieutenant Lord? Still nothing. Anyone? Come on. You give the radio a shake and spend a few more moments adjusting the frequency dials, but you still don't hear anything from anyone, just the hiss of static. For a moment you feel like throwing the radio down the corridor, but instead you slump against the nearest wall and hold your head in one hand. Slouching against the wall in the low light for a moment longer, you sigh loudly before turning and kneeling down by the PST, which you begin to pack back up. You got the codes, you just can't get them to the Chief over the radio. The next best thing you decide is to get them to her in person. You clip the latches on the PST closed, pick it up as you stand, turning to make your way through the darkness towards the four-side thoroughfare. Alright, let's move. To the four-side thoroughfare. Central hub. Aft thoroughfare. To engineering. Outside the huge blast door that separates the aft thoroughfare from the engineering department, you begin the increasingly familiar process of unpacking the PST. Alright, set up the PST. First withdrawing the cable, plugging it into the terminal near the door. You boot up the device, cycling through the options. Okay, and then we want to do Cassie's key card. With the device set up, you hit the enter key on the unlock option, and you turn your attention towards the partition that stands between you and the engineering department. Unlike the other doors, the PST's battery power had been used to open. The blast door is inches thick and comprised almost entirely of solid steel. You watch tentatively as a low grinding sound emanates from the ceiling for about 10 seconds before the door even begins to move. Like the others, the opening process is agonizingly slow. In the darkness of the thoroughfare, time seems to lose all meaning as you watch the door almost imperceptibly work its way upwards. After a few minutes, the barely noticeable progress comes to a halt and the low grinding sound stops, with the blast doors giving you just over a foot of clearance between it and the floor. Turning your attention back towards the PST, you see a graphic of an empty battery with a cross through it, blinking on your screen. Oh, no. Oh, hey, look at me. I'm so handsome. Oh, we got music again. Ooh, a different song. Knowing that the blast door is being kept open by the device's dwindling battery power, you drop to the floor and, grabbing the PST, begin to crawl forward into engineering. There's just enough clearance for you to worm your way underneath, but the smooth panel floor turning into grating makes it an uncomfortable experience. Oh, fuck that. Yeah, no, see, that's what I don't want. Mm-mm. By the time you make it halfway through, with your feet still sticking out in the aft thoroughfare, the grinding noise that had stopped with the door starts packing up again. Oh, no. You shove the PST ahead of you through the small gap, being mindful not to yank the cable plugged into the underside of the terminal. Ignoring the grating sound, you quickly squirm your way until you're clear of the door. Oh, thank God. Then, rolling onto your back, you grab the PST's cable Give it a swift tug, pulling it out of the terminal on the other side, back to you just before the blast door drops shut. Despite everything, it's still you. Fuck that. That was way too close. You stand up, then quickly pick up the PST, which still has the low battery warning blinking on its screen. Chief? Call is met with the oppressive silence. It's somehow worse in the vast space of engineering department. Oh, man. Chief, it's me, Lieutenant Curino. I've got the PST. Chief? Making your way past various systems, terminals, stations, and machinery, you continue to call out to the chief, but there's no response. Where the hell could she be? As you continue your way deeper into the engineering, you grab the radio. Chief? No band, no signal. Just like the last time you tried, no one answers and all you hear is static. They're all dead, Dave. Oh. Chief? You dart down different catwalks trying to find the chief, your mind racing as to where she could be. Chief? With the low battery warning illuminating your face in increasingly small intervals with its constant flashing, you stop. Looking down at the PST screen, you make a decision. Well, I've done everything else myself. Turning back from the main section of engineering, you make a beeline over to the room that holds the central computer, your footsteps on the grating echoing throughout the silence. May as well finish things. As you begin to run, the PST starts to beep and the battery symbol flashes even more rapidly. If you're running out of battery, then don't use what you got left flashing and beeping. Running at full pelt now towards the central computer, you reach it just as the PST's whole screen begins to blink, cycling between showing the warning and nothing at all. Once you arrive at the doorway that leads to the central computer, you know what you got to do. Once you arrive at the doorway that leads to the central computer, you gotta slam that in. Wasting no time, you withdraw the cable and hurriedly plug it into the terminal with one hand while scrolling through the options with the other. Come on, hang in there. Come on, you're almost there. Need to hurry up and get these to the central computer. Oh, sorry. Casting keycard. And now, there. As soon as the door begins to open, you jump to it, start pushing it on it in order to force it open. Once you've made a gap large enough, you slip through at the exact moment as you hear the PST power down and the door slides back shut. Oh, now I'm fucking stuck in here. Oh, I hope this works. Takes a moment, but your eyes adjust to the darkness of the room. Looking around, you see that it's a little bigger than a cleaning cupboard or a crew member's shower cubicle. Masses of thick cabling run from the ceiling and floor along the walls towards the end of the room opposite of the doorway. On the far side is a huge screen with a keyboard positioned below it at about waist height. Stepping towards the interface, you run your hand over the keys. The computer shows no sign of life, even after you begin to push random buttons. Sure. Simply mashing on the keyboard doesn't produce any response, so instead you begin to feel your way over its casing in the darkness, trying to find what might be a power button. Eventually you find a rocker switch set to the side of the device. You flick it to the alternate position once, but nothing happens. With no other options, you flick it back to the position it was in. This time the screen illuminates and you hear electronics come to life. There we go. As a hard drive somewhere beyond the screen begins to whir loudly, the screen transitions from its boot screen to a password input screen. After everything you've been through, you're now one input away from getting the ship back online. Alright, finally. And enter. With a final flourish, you strike the return key. Yeah, lights on. An immense feeling of satisfaction fills you as you watch the computer work its way through the startup process. Names of systems show up and are followed by their status, changing from offline to active. A faint draft runs down your neck, which you take to mean life support and ventilation is back online, baby. All right, hold on, Cassie. Hello? What? Wait, what? No, come on. You're hit with a gut punch as panic as the visuals on screen begin to warp. Fragments of text scatter and lines of codes split and distort whilst a strange noise squeals from the machinery. Don't do this. Unsure of what's going on, but beginning to think that this is your fault, you look over the keyboard again, repeatedly striking any key that may seem like it might stop this process. End, escape, pause. Oh. Oh, what's going on? As suddenly as it started, the computer's erratic activity ceases, with the only documents on screen left on screen is Cassie's personal file. Cassie's file? Wait, why? You pause, unsure whether you should do anything or leave it as is. You can tell from the ambient noise that it has returned, that the ship is back online, but why would a computer freak out like this? Why would it pull up Cassie's file? No. Huh? Doing your best to understand what you just saw, you tentatively reach a hand out towards the keyboard. You're still unsure what you could do to find out what just happened, but can't help feel like whatever it was wasn't right. Curino, I need you up on the bridge right now. You withdraw your hand, but instead grabbing the radio to answer Lieutenant Lord. All right, I'm on my way back now. How's Lieutenant Quinn doing? There's no time for her. Get up here now. Curse her under your breath as you turn to leave the room. You learn that if Lieutenant Lord doesn't intend to be helpful, she won't be. Rather than attempt to argue, you make your way through the ship back towards the bridge. All the door. Okay, lights are on. Doors are open. Okay. All right. As the elevator doors hiss open, you step. What are we looking at out there? What is that? As the elevator doors hiss open, you step onto the bridge. You see Lieutenant Lord frenzied flickering switches and turning dials on an instrument panel, stopping every so often to type the commands onto her station. Cassie, meanwhile, remains unconscious on the bridge floor. I'm here, Lieutenant. What else is wrong now? You hurry over to Cassie and kneel down, sliding your hands under her back and legs in preparation to pick her up and take her to the newly accessible sickbay. It's the O'Brien. With a single movement, you stand and bring Cassandra up from the floor. What about it? It's gone. Oh. Interesting. So now that ship's gone. Okay, something's clearly fucked up with the O'Brien. They were either like hacking us or they did some kind of weird ass EMP thing to us. Something happened that the O'Brien is definitely a part of or was also a victim of. I told you she was evil. I don't know. She might have been. Oof. Do we want to keep going? Let's see. How long has this chapter been? How long have we been here? We've been here for about 2.5 hours. That's about what the other one was, right? Let's see. We were looking at last one was about 2.5 hours. Okay, well, I mean it's taking us about the same time for each of the chapters. Maybe we put a pin in this one for now. Let's see, it's 1:00. I'm enjoying this game more than I expected. Yeah, honestly, again, when I did the demo way back when, I was like, oh wow, this seems like it's actually going to be pretty cool. And honestly, like now seeing this new content all these months later, like yeah, fuck yeah, I'm super in. I think we call it here on this one here today. Only because if it's 1:00 now, I think it would behoove me to try to get maybe a little bit of Plucky Squire in. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and call this here. We're gonna just make a nice little save right there, and then we'll come back around on this one here. I like our little episodic visual novel adventure. Yes, I would like to return to the main menu. Fuck yeah, stories from Soul the Gundog. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here. I'll set up another stream in just a moment here for Plucky Squire. We'll do that for maybe like 2 hours, and then we'll have a nice little time. God, I miss playing games. Fuck, I just want to quit my job. All right, stream ending. See you in a second. Give me like maybe 5 minutes, and I'll get everything set up for Plucky Squire. See you in a sec. Bye.